My God. Hi. Okay, we're trying OBS today, so if shit doesn't work, something's broken, something is not correct, I don't know what to do about that. So we're all just gonna make peace with what we've been given, okay? We're all just gonna make peace with what we've been given today, okay, you guys? We're all gonna make peace with what we have in front of us today. Like is this locked or unlocked? This is like this is like not centered, and that's gonna piss me off. Like we're just working with what we've been given. Okay, we're working with what we've been given, and then I actually don't even fucking know if any of my widgets still work. I didn't get that far. Why don't we just see if that works really quick? Let's just try. Let's just try. Let's just try. Let's just try. Just let me know. Let me know if this works. Where's my test widget? Where is that? Oh, let's do let's do a test super chat. Let's see if this works. We're gonna test the widget. Where is it? Um, does it not let me? Uh-oh. Well, I guess we'll see. We'll see. Wait, did that work? I don't know. I don't know. I guess we'll see as we go, I suppose. We'll just see what that looks like, I guess. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. We'll learn as we go, you guys. We'll learn as we go. We'll try many new things today. Today is a day ripe full of new experiences. Um, the day ripe full of experiences. We'll try. We'll try. We'll try. We'll do our very best today, you guys. Okay. Let's see. Felix is here. Fuck. Oh. Felix is here. Don't Smoke in Bed is here. Oh, let's go. Emery is here. Hang on, let me get my soundboard, guys. I need my soundboard. Perfect. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, what the fuck is going on? Help. I'm being killed. Okay. I'm being killed. Oh my god, what the fuck? Okay, we're good. Everything is good. Everything is good. Wait, hang on. Why are there two of these? There's two Discord overlays. Where's the other one? This one.
Malcolm has all the IQ of a baked
No, this
potato,
one.
so no, I don't think so.
Scones en jam donatet 2 lliures
Okay,
trucs
it works.
superchat. Di multi microbava is pounds fault poppy.
Beautiful. I'm glad that works. I'm glad that worked. I was scared it wasn't. Everybody witness. Thank you, Scones to Jam. Wow, what a beautiful day. What a beautiful day. That works. The plugin worked. Wow. Wow, beautiful. The only thing I don't have is a multi-stream plugin, so I'm so sorry for my Twitch girlies. It's really over. It's really over for you guys. I also turned down my noise gate a lot. I wonder. That seems like it's a little low. What are my filters here? Um, move this back a little. No, no, no. I don't want to do that. Let's just do. Oh, wait, hang on now. It's fine. This is fine. I'm quiet. I know that. I can see that. I can see that clearly. Where are my filters? Where are my filters? What do I want to turn up here?
Who is this Calvin Garrar? Who is he?
Yeah, there we go. There we go. That's what I wanted. Is it? No. What the fuck do I want to turn up for this? Oh, the gain? No. Noise gate. Huh. All right. Well, I guess I'll just have to talk louder than I already do. Perfect. Well, I guess I can look this up. Oh, it is the gain. Okay. I just work here. Okay, hang on. Filters. Let's turn the gain up just a little bit. Just a little bit so I'm not so quiet. A little. Hello? Testing. Hello? Ooh, there we go. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Excellent. Okay. Don't Smoke in Bed is here. Emery is here. Oh, also, let's get a witness for the membership. Thank you. Thank you, Mamacita. Witness, please. Okay. Oh, okay. Rat Bastard is here. Grayson is here. Fly is here. Dairy Rose is here. Graham is here. Grayson is here. Sergio is here. Trash is here. Junie is here. Seska is here. Ember Rose is here. Graham is here. Honeybee is here. Cinder is here. Bear is here. Anonymous is here. Dragonite is here. Dankside Villa is here. Lolas. Ronan. Dat Fat Bat. Coffee Bean. Miss Jasmine. Let's go. Long time no see. Rose Weaver. Toggle. Meow meow. Evil Malcolm is here. Perfect. Keldoge is here. Invoicing Emu is here. User 225 is here. Cherry is here. Mr. Mollusk is here. Adam is here. And Seraphile is here. Venko, let's go. Lavba is here. Dusk is here. Space Frog is here. Goblin is here. DZ is here, my strongest lesbian. Alright. Did I fuck up the audio? Oh, robot. Oat Milk is here. Let's go. Long time no see. Hope you're well. Okay, make sure you like the stream. If you don't like the stream, that means that you don't believe that Lyle Convoy is responsible for the disappearance of Jean-Benet Ramsey, which is very important that we do that. Buddy is here. Astria is here as well. All right. So I was pondering my orb. I was thinking about it. I wanted to, I still want to watch the Brit call, but I think the kittens are a little tired, you guys. I think the kittens are a little bit tired. I think that the kittens could use some rest. So I think that we're going to allow the lion to sleep tonight. I will say we got another bitch fest in Falgy's Discord. We can do some highlights of that quickly, and then we'll move on. And then we can move on. Allow me. Oh fuck! Hang on. I'm trying to think of what keywords were said here. Oh, I said McChicken. There we go. I did say McChicken. Okay. I'm just gonna read these because I'm not gonna put like Falgy's Discord server on my stream. I'm not gonna do that. That seems kind of crazy, girl. Where did we begin? Hang on. This is a little sporadic. I had like 20 minutes of downtime today, and I figured why not cause some trouble? Why not be a troublemaker? Why not be a little bit of riffraff, you know? And normally I'm not riffraff, to be completely honest with you. But it was just really convenient. The exact time that I opened Discord, I saw that Lio was talking shit about me, and I was like, oh my god, God is real, you guys. There's no such thing as coincidences. We are energetically aligned, Lio and I. We are energetically aligned. This message was meant for me. You know what I mean? So, Lio was bitching about Sai again. Water is wet. Bears shit in the woods. You know, whatever the fuck. So, Lio said something, about which one was it? He said something about me, and that's what I popped off about. Hang on, give me 1 second. Oh, here it is. He said, I don't recall recently pulling an autistic person into a call and berating them needlessly. That's crazy, because we watched one that was from like less than a year ago, yesterday. That's really weird. Granted, that's why Sai is afraid of me. Oh, ableism, and in Disability Awareness Month, that's crazy. And then he says, and yeah, I'll tell Malcolm to do that continually until he does it. He wants me to kill myself. I'm glad that he's gendering me correctly, though. Credit where credit is due. And then he goes on to say, Sai can support a doxer, but me being, quote, mean crosses the line. That's amazing. And when he's saying that, he means Westside Tyler, because Westside Tyler is his own special flavor of deranged. If you guys want to engage with that, feel free, but That's something else. So obviously, again, conveniently, the time that I opened my Discord was the time that this was occurring. I was like, wow, God is real. And so I posted the meme where it's, do you like my silly hat? And it's Lyle Convoy saying, you are an enemy of Christ. Allow me to share this with the class because this is really funny and this is a good time for me to test this out. So this is the meme. This is the meme. Sai made this for me. So it's me in my silly hat. And I say, oh, you know, why is this in front of this? Wow. It's a good thing that we did this, you guys. Okay, why are there like 3 of these? Where is this? Okay, this one needs to go away. Goodbye. And then, what the fuck? Hang on. This one? I guess I can do that. Okay. Did that fix it? Yeah, I did. Okay, perfect. And then the chat is all fucked up. Oh my God. Where's the chat box? Where is she? Where is she? Hello? Chat box? Hang on now. Fuck me. Okay, hang on. I fix. Okay, she fix. Oh, hello? Hello? There we go. Okay. Anyway, so I responded with this meme because I love this meme and it's fucking hilarious. Love her. Anyway, so I responded with that. Okay. We responded with that because it's funny. It's funny. It's a good meme. It's a good meme. And then it took him a minute to respond, you know, in between eating 6 chicken nuggets at a time. And he said, inaccurate. Instead, it should be how you willfully spread false claims while running defense for your friend that justifies letting kids access porn. It'll be fun to hear about what you try to twist reality to justify Britney's claims despite the contrary evidence. Oh, and before I forget, and then he keeps reposting the screenshot where he tells me to kill myself. It really hurts my feelings, as you can tell.
Malcolm has all the IQ of a baked potato, so no, I don't think so.
Au donatet $5 truc superchat. Intimes de Owen it tutell tespeuple? Don't must be an el de lesbian. It never ends well.
You don't fuck with lesbians. This is true. Everybody witness. Thank you for the $5. So after this, I posted the meme of Alex Jones going, Jew, 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 Jew. And then I said, fat, 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 because he's fat. That's the joke. Which was pretty funny, I thought. I thought it was pretty funny. And then he says, we all know fine with kids being given access to porn. Sorry, the deflection and baiting isn't working in your favor. Wonder how long it'll be before people find out whatever you're trying to hide. Also, the only thing that I'm trying to hide, I would say is, what am I trying to hide, you guys? That I am responsible for the disappearance of Jean-Bede Ramsey, perhaps. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. So yeah, and then he posted the meme again telling me, it's not even a meme, it's a screenshot. Very boring, very boring. What else is new? Water is wet, blah, blah, blah. And then after that, I said, you're welcome to come and talk to me about the positions I hold of you being an adulterous whore and predating on vulnerable people. I'm not size keeper, and I don't play this gay shit where I ask a question and you go, what about the moon landing? And then he says, please come on stream so I can content farm, and I have no talent. It's true. I'm a talentless hack. This is true. Again, why do you let Sai justify letting kids have access to porn? You do that yourself, ? It's been my experience that people who act like this just shield other people like them. And again, and then he posts the picture telling me to kill myself. Got him again. Fucking, I'm raped. This is true. I'm raped. And then I said, if you want to debate about Sai, I'm happy to chat about that as well. I know you're online almost every waking moment of the day, so feel free to let me know when you want to chat. Heart emoji. Oh, boy. And then he said, I'm not size keeper. I know. You're her white knight. I'm not white. Wow. Erasure. You're not my, quote, keeper either, but you prioritize whatever you made up in your chicken breast smooth brain to shift focus because you're protecting her. I'm not protecting Sai. Sai can protect herself. She's a big girl. I'm not getting off this point, and you'll just have to get over it. At least until people find out what you've done, and then you'll wind up like Poppy and Xena. It's true. I have a harem. I have a harem. It's true. Don't tell my wife, though, guys. She'll be really pissed. And he spelled Xena wrong. Xena erasure. Can I get an exclamation point Xena in chat to recognize her, please? Please. Thank you. And then he says, then you'll wind up like Poppy and Xena. You know, the people who you failed to property cover and then got dogged on for it. Good times. Who the fuck dogged on me for that? I don't know. We're just
Malcolm has all the IQ
memories.
of a baked potato, so no, I don't think so.
Rosabebé donatet $5 truc superchat. Talents is inexorata. Beva alla art i gloriuf diva. Facta castalent.
Malcolm has all the IQ of a baked potato, so no, I don't think so.
O no Angel donatet $5 truc superchat. Lius que es in bulky el basa intuis gluba finges.
Thank you guys very much. Everybody double witness, please. It's true. It's very true. These are true things. Everybody's been saying it. But apparently I got dogged on for not covering Xena and Poppy properly. By who? Poppy? Okay, cool. Based. And then he posted the meme again, telling me to kill myself. Very cool. Very original. Love. Super happy to see that again. And then
Malcolm has all the IQ of a baked potato, so no, I don't think so.
Sai donatet $5 truc superchat. Lius tactic is really nobody likas you and everybody says you're a stinky.
thank you very much, Sai. Everybody witness. Well, and the truth of the matter is that things that hurt him are what he attacks other people with. So he's like, get a job. He's very unhappy with his job. Get laid. He probably never has sex with his wife. He says, go outside. He never goes outside. He's like, take a shower. He obviously doesn't shower. We know this to be true. Like, you know what I mean? Like every like, oh, you're fucking stupid. You have a low IQ. Literally look in the mirror. It's like he's literally saying them to himself. It's crazy. But anyway, so I responded. I say, my brain is wrinkled enough to not recycle the same joke 17 fucking times, lol. Anyway, like I said, if you want to chat anytime, let me know. Happy to discuss whatever. Praying for your blood pressure, my lord. Got him. And then he said, I'm not telling jokes. I'm being completely serious. I think it's amazing that you'll look at my stuff and say, this is grooming and infidelity with zero actual proof. I'm happy to talk about the proof. I'm not free content for anybody. So if he wants to come on stream, we can come on stream and we can talk about it. I'm not doing the gay text walls back and forth. We can talk with our voices, or we can not. We can just roll around in the mud because I'm not going to have like, a manifesto to type out and then we can go back and forth in text chat for 10 years. We can talk with our voices. We can talk with our voices or we can just roll around in the mud. So that's what we're going to continue doing. And I do have evidence that I'm happy to provide and I've provided several times. It's not my fault that his fat is protecting his ears and he can't fucking hear anything. He says, but Sai runs a server where kids have access to porn. People talk sexually around kids too. And she publicly justifies it. And absolute silence from you about it. There's only two types of people that would do that. And I'm pretty sure I know which one you are. So we're also pedo-jacketing a trans person 9 days after Pride Month. That's crazy, guys. That's crazy, guys. And I must stress, since you're clearly struggling, this is not a joke. Actually do this. And then he posted the kill yourself thing again. I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to say it, you guys. Life is a gift. And most people don't know this and they don't appreciate it because nobody ever told you to be grateful to be alive. Life is beautiful, okay? I love waking up every morning. I love learning something new every day. I love having unique experiences. I love going to the gas station to get a little bev. I love going to the grocery store to get my fresh vegetables. I love walking outside and smelling the fresh air. I love swimming in the sea, okay? I am satisfied with my life. That I'm not like a mind raped 19-year-old. That doesn't work on me. So, but yeah, he really wants me to kill myself. I'm glad that I eat up so much bandwidth in his brain. And then everybody's like, Malcolm, stop telling people to kill themselves. And he was like, it's so funny. And literally crickets from the peanut gallery. And then I said, talked about it plenty of times, bursting at the seams to talk about it again. Seek the healing light of Christ, Lyle. Gluttony is a sin. Looking forward to discussing your allegations whenever you're free. Kicking my feet the whole time that I'm saying this. And then he said, you're not raising my blood pressure. I'm finding a lot of value in watching you deflect consistently. It'll come back to bite you sooner or later. Sorry, you're too stupid. Hope you get better. Oh, he cares about me. That's really cute. I really like that. That's really thoughtful of him. That's really thoughtful of him to say. I really appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. That's really nice. And I said, I just don't do this gay hug box shit. You do. Happy to talk to, one-on-one and clear up any misconceptions that you have. Take some baby aspirin and relax, Monarch. There was another good one in here. And then he said, no, you absolutely talk hug box things. It's why your server had an aneurysm because I told someone to get a job. Oh, thank you very much, Shark. If this will go.
Who
Witness, please.
is
there we
this
go.
Calvin Garrar? Who is he?
Oh, thank you very much. Everybody witness. Beautiful. We love our generous mamacitas here. He said, it's why your server had an aneurysm because I told someone to get a job. You're inconsistent and you're not interested in the truth. You want content. Kill yourself. Nice. Good one. True. True. These are all facts. And then I said, is that why you can't have a one-on-one conversation? And he says, no free content for talentless hacks. Said that multiple times now. Is your brain too filled with excuses for your fiend letting kid look at porn and and remember what you're told. Sorry, I'm the one that's having a stroke now. My blood pressure. I said, and apparently yours is too full with thoughts of McChickens and your Discord e-whores that you can try writing this down so you remember it, Pigman. I'm happy to clarify and discuss all of your concerns, but I know you're too chicken shit to do so. So keep crashing the fuck out. It's fucking hilarious. And then where? Oh fuck. I don't think it's in here. He says the fact that fat is the best that you've got actually just further proves how you lack talent. But it's okay. The moment that I mention you again, you'll rush over here to run your idiot hole. Transphobia guards, and think negging me will get me into a call with you. Your claims of triggering are projection. Now kill yourself immediately. Tragic. And then I said, you've been talking about me for like 2 weeks at this point, bro. I don't just have fat. I have that you're an adulterer, a predator of the vulnerable, a liar, a mouth breather, and a coward. I'll kill myself when you can fit into a size 30 pants. And then he says, 1 week. Is reading the calendar too hard for you now? Poor baby. Is that why you don't have a job? Can't tell dates? Sounds like a skill issue. I'll hold you to the promise of killing yourself, though. It'll be funny when you find ways to puss out. If you haven't been outed for touching kids or something by then. I'm not the one that adopts like 18-year-old kids that have been raped on Discord and then move them into my house. And I'm also not the one that uses kids that are being groomed online as bait in calls to get people to groom them in my presence to like trap them. Like I'm some kind of brain dead Chris Hansen. I don't do that. So, I mean, if we're placing bets on who's a molester, I think that my choice is pretty clear. I think I'm pretty confident. I would even take 10-1 odds on that one, but we'll see. And then I said, oh, I'm sorry. I forgot that you're terminally autistic. I'm not mind raped, so I'm not going to kill myself because someone is rude to me. So that was a hyperbolic statement for comedic effect. But I know that your fat ass will never fit into a size 30 and you'll die of heart failure long before you shed the pounds. Also, I find it interesting. He's been talking about losing weight for like 10 years. So we'll just let that speak for itself. And I said, anyway, smell you later. Don't be afraid of the shower. It's good for you. And he says, mentioning you in a single message because one of your hanger-ons was trying to get you content isn't quote talking about you. Sorry, you don't know how communication works. And he says, now, why are you okay with size server and being shown and porn being shown to kids? Answer, dog. Yip, yip. Put me down. I'm Old Yeller. And then he said something in here. So the Moz deleted it with a swiftness. He said something that was like fucking crazy. And I saw it and I didn't think to screenshot it. It literally, like the second that I saw it, it got deleted. It was so fast. But he said, he was like, when you kill yourself, don't even use a gun. I want you to use a knife and I want you to stick it into your throat and twist it until you stop breathing. Or like something fucking crazy like that. And I was like, are you okay right now? Like, I'm genuinely concerned about your blood pressure right now. I'm genuinely concerned that you are approaching a significant cardiac event. Like, I need you to calm the fuck down, dude. I need you to calm the fuck down. Like, you are not okay right now. And then he said, already pussing out, I'm not surprised. And no, I don't expect you to be, quote, mind raped. It's more likely that you've done that to kids. Again, if we pick anybody here to be a rapist, it's probably not me. And then he says, I'm sorry your overweight dad hit you or whatever, but that's not my problem. Kill yourself. Unlike Lio, I was actually never abused by my family. I have a great relationship with my parents. I know that he doesn't know what that's like at all. But I do have a really good relationship with my parents. We talk almost every day. So I know that he doesn't know what that's like. So I don't know. I think that the one that needs to, again, be hit harder is not me. I think that we're projecting pretty much every attack as just like a unshielding of a deep insecurity that he has. My dad also isn't fat either. No one in my family is. If you can't tell, we all run very thin. Also, I never said rape jokes were bad. I never said that. I make rape jokes all the time. I don't think that rape jokes are bad. I think that threatening to rape people is bad, but I don't think, a joke, in good company for a good laugh is not bad. I've literally never said that one time, but that's okay. That's fine. I know he's confusing the lesbians. It's very sad. All lesbians are the same, you know what I mean? I think there was like one more in here, but I don't remember. Yeah, the one where he graphically described the way that I should kill myself. Oh my God. It makes me so happy that I make him so fucking mad. It's actually fucking hilarious. It's actually so funny. It's actually so funny that I trigger him so hard. It's so funny. Fucking hilarious. I don't know if there was any more in here. And that was it. think that was it. Anyway, Lio's fat and a pussy, so I don't care. He'll never get in a call with me because he's fucking scared. He's scared because I remind him of his father, I'm sure. Father is in the call now. And you guys are still going. Wow. Yappers. And I think it's really funny too that he hides in other people's Discords. He's like in Discord calls pretty much all day, but he's too fucking scared to get in a Discord call one-on-one if he doesn't have his kittens. He doesn't even have his kittens. So sad. Meow meow. Sad meow. Sad meow for the chat. Meow. Meow. So sad. Anyway, that was fun. Very fun. Very fun, guys. Very fun, guys. You know all those really sad poems about like, whenever I feel angry, I see my father's hands. That's actually from Lio's Wattpad. That's actually from Lio's Wattpad. Crazy. I mean, if you're saying that like people that usually cover for this shit are usually pedophiles or predators themselves, literally everybody that Lio has ever been close to has turned out to be like a fucking pedophile, literally. Josh Vita was literally like a pedophile that groomed one of Lio's Discord kids like right fucking in front of him for years, and he didn't even notice. Usually, you know, it's reflective of who you're around. You know, you usually, like, predators stick together. Look in the fucking mirror, bro.
Malcolm has all the IQ of a baked potato, so no, I don't think so.
Love donated $5 through Super Chat. As a fellow fatty would advise you to start going for bulk suicide, it's good for you in more ways than one.
Thank you very much, Loaf, for the $5. Everybody witness, please. I know, it's clickbait. It's coming, it's coming. I wanted to break the ice with something fun and light, you guys. I gotta build up. We have to build tension. We have to build tension, you guys. We have to build tension. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. Don't worry about it. That's fine. Same offer as always. Josh Vita was somebody who Lio was really good friends with for a very long time. Josh Vita was actively involved with Lio's predator hunting shit. It was outed that Josh Vita was actually a pedophile. Lio Convoy also had an adopted Discord kid named Jordan. I think that they started talking when Jordan was like 13. And that was the one that Lio waited until they were 18 and then moved him in with them. And it turned out that Josh Vita had been grooming Jordan the entire time that he and Lio were friends. Doodle Tones is another one of these fucking freaks. Or what is it, Doodle Tones? I think it's Doodle Tones. Hopeless Peaches or Lovely Peaches, whatever fucking one that one is. Coyote Lovely. Like, conveniently, everybody that he hangs out with ends up being a pedophile. It's really weird. For somebody who's a pedophile hunter, like, his radar is off. His radar is really, really off. You know what I mean? It's like, my gaydar is really good, so you could call me like a gay hunter, like a gay person hunter, because I have a really good gaydar. But you have to be good at it, right? You got to be good at it. He's not good at pedo hunting. He has horse blinders on, or elephant blinders, I guess. They have to make them bigger for him. But you know what I mean? Like, he's constantly surrounded by these fucking freaks, and then he's like, oh no, another one seems to be a pedophile. It's like,
Malcolm has all the IQ of a baked potato, so no, I don't think so.
Sai donated $2 through Super Chat. It's not a book, it's a feature.
Thank you very much, Sai. Everybody witness, please. Yeah. And as per usual, Lio is too fat and lazy to defend himself. If any of his kittens want to come and defend themselves, they can. I don't do tech shit back and forth. We can talk with our voices like adults. We can talk with our voices like adults. And it won't be in a private call because I know all you fucking snakes record everything anyway. So we might as well do it right here. Right here, right now. There's no time like the present. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, guys? Oh, all right. Let us see how long this document is. Shall we see? It's not actually a document, excuse me. It's a Substack. My apologies, guys. I didn't mean to spread misinformation. All right, let's go ahead and drop this in here. How long is this? How long do we think this is going to take us to read, you guys? The scroll bar is so small. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. The scroll bar is very small. But that's okay. We'll make it work. We'll make it work. This is fine. Oh, God. Bad day to be dyslexic, I say. Bad day to be dyslexic. I promise it's better than my schizo doc. Well, no offense, Nightwild. The bar was very low. So, love you so much, Monarch. The bar was very low. So, that doesn't really give me high hopes. Love you lots, but, you know, happy birthday, Josh. Happy birthday, Josh. Also, I just think it's really funny, you know, that we have such strong opinions about everybody else's. I thought that Falgi was supposed to be the soy one, and he's cool with Lyle Convoy just spamming the kill yourself. Like, what does he have to do? Call me an F slur? Call me the T slur? Is that what we have to do? Like, I'm just curious. I'm not gonna hand wring. I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, like, can you please ban Lyle from your server? He's being so mean to me. I think it's funny. I think it's actually fucking hilarious. I think it's so funny. It actually unironically makes me laugh. So I'm not gonna like hand wring over it, but I just think it's funny. I think it's funny that we're like, oh my god, you guys. I'm not like these other drama streamers. I'm very woke. How woke, you ask? Well. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and lock in. Okay, we're gonna lock in. So, wow, guys, everybody huddle around the kitten crate. Huddle around. It's time to tell you a scary story. It's time to tell you a scary story, kittens. Okay, so should we get like DMCA free scary music? Let's get some scary music. He would be so much cooler if he just called me a slur. He'd be so much cooler if he just did. Scary music, DMCA free. Let's get some scary music. Let's get some scary music. Let's get 3 hours of scary, ominous, creepy horror music. Perfect. This is what I want. Okay. Oh yeah, there we go. How's our volume? Let's turn that down a little bit though. How's that? Still pretty loud. Why is that still so fucking loud? Is my volume booster on? No, that's crazy. Okay, let's do it this way then. That's fine. We will make this work. This is perfect. This is awesome, guys. This is fucking awesome. Okay. This is fucking awesome, guys. This is fucking awesome. Okay. This is perfect. Okay. Everybody ready. Everybody gather around. Everybody gather around. Should I turn off all the lights too? Okay. Everyone gather around. I'm here to tell you a scary story. Okay. So, long ago in a galaxy far, far away. Okay. It was like literally this time last year, you guys. Just about. Well, it was farther back. Anyway, so once upon a time, there was a content creator named Poppy, also known as Trans Girl Therapist, also known as TGT, also known as Poppy Diabolique, as Ethel would say, also known as Poppy Diablique, also known as Penny, also known as Pepper, also known as Peppermint, also known as what was the scary altar's name again? What was the scary one's name again? Legion or whatever, I don't fucking know. Anyway, so long ago there was a content creator named Poppy, and Poppy was a therapist, and Poppy was a trans woman. And Poppy started out with, it was Sentinel. It came to me. Sentinel. Sentinel was the scary altar. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. So long ago in a galaxy far away. Let me go ahead and get up where's the image that, I don't want threads. Where's my pin messages? Where's the image that Melina made? Here it is. Beautiful. Okay, this is easy. This is easy. We will make light work of this, kittens. Light work of this. Let me get up our handy dandy flowchart, okay? Let's get our flowchart. Thank you, Melina, for making this for me. Changed my life. Thank you. Okay. So this is our flowchart, guys. This is our flowchart. This is going to help us navigate the Poppyverse, okay? So long ago in a galaxy far away, there was a content creator named Poppy. Poppy was a therapist, okay? She was an LPC, and she was trans. And so she made a YouTube channel because she wanted to talk about therapy stuff and trans stuff. But shortly after Poppy made her channel, her partner, Xena, said, I'm being erased. And so then it became Poppy and Xena, okay? And Xena is trans masculine, but not in Poppy's eyes, but we'll get to that later, okay? So Poppy rebrands, okay? About a year ago, shit started to hit the fan, okay? I started getting whisperings and murmurings in my ear. I started hearing about crazy things that possibly couldn't be true. Rape, grooming, DID, crazy altars, hallucinogenic vaginal secretions on mine. I said, this is insane. I have to look into this. I simply must see what's going on. So I began my journey, my descent into madness, if you will. So at first, I found a Twitter post from many, many moons ago where someone was saying Poppy is abusive. And this was an ex from many, many years ago, okay? And this ex alleged that Poppy would keep her phone away and that she was very controlling, very manipulative, very evil, very Machiavellian, and was emotionally abusive. And I said, this is interesting. Then, shortly after, I found a Google document that detailed the series of events that led to Poppy alleging that she was raped by deception. And the story goes as follows. Poppy and Snowflake were dating via Discord, obviously. Clearly, duh, write that down. So they were dating via Discord. They dated via Discord for about 4 months. Poppy was being unhinged and deranged in DMs saying, I love you so much, and then doing DID quick switches the entire time to control the situation and manipulate. Poppy and Snowflake eventually got into a big fight because Poppy is polyamorous, but she has her own unique brand of polyamory called Poppyamory, where she's the only one that can have other partners. Her other partners cannot have other partners, otherwise she will crash out. So obviously, she crashed the fuck out on Snowflake. And then they had a huge fight, just days, mere days before they were supposed to meet and fall in love in real life. And so obviously Snowflake was like, fuck you, you're insane. I don't want you to come and see me. And Poppy sent like 400 fucking messages and was like, oh my God, please come or I'm going to kill myself. Not literally, but all but says that. So Snowflake says, fuck, fine, I'll come and see you. They meet. They hook up. After the fact, Snowflake says, actually, yeah, I still don't want to fucking date you. And Poppy said, rape! And then so Poppy began a harassment campaign spanning months long, calling Snowflake a rapist. There was even at one point an article with Snowflake's image on it, and it said rapist over the front of it in the Grand Theft Auto font. Very tragic, very tragic. Following this, another document came out about Poppy abusing her child. And her child is not her biological child, okay? Her child is her child from another marriage, okay? She was married long ago to a woman. The woman died in a tragic horse riding accident. After the woman died, Poppy adopted the child. Poppy later went on to say that she was groomed by this person. Everybody that is mean to Poppy is either a rapist, a groomer, an abuser, whatever it is. Who cares? Okay, so Poppy allegedly abused financially, emotionally, this child by restricting, access to their money. They got a trust fund from when the mom died. Restricting access to eating times in the bathroom, restricting access to food, things like this. These are all allegations, of course. Everything is alleged. Write that down. Okay. And then, obviously, we're going to get into this. Okay, we're going to get into this. I started covering this. Later, Poppy would get hit with a cease and desist, and now Poppy is actively in a lawsuit for defaming Snowflake as a rapist. So let's go through here. Because this is going to be my guide to fill in the relevant lore. Okay, this is the relevant lore. So we have the Poppyverse characters. So we have prologue characters. So Spawn obviously is the child that is like adopted. JJ is the biological mom who passed away. Spawn's bio dad, we don't know who that is. Arden is the ex that initially alleged that Poppy was abusive, and then Xena is obviously Poppy's partner. Both of them suffer from very debilitating migraines, but that has nothing to do with the fact that they never sleep. They chug Red Bulls like water. They take CBD gummies, and they have mold in their apartment. That's obviously not it. And then these are the current inner circle. I don't care about that. The only one that we're going to care about is Liana Kersner. If this name sounds familiar to you, it's because Liana Kersner is an old school Gamergator, okay? Liana Kersner is weird in her own right, and she's like a poster child for the Franzia wine mom, okay? This bitch always looks like she just came off of a bender every time that she talks, okay? So we're going to come down here a little bit, and then we're going to scoot to the side, okay? We're going to scoot to the side over here. So we have a lot of here. So we have former streamer friends. We used to be tight with President Sunday. President Sunday was like, you were not raped, grow up. And obviously Poppy crashed the fuck out about that because she wasn't raped, she was just dumped. Luxander did a very good video on Poppy. They are no longer tight. Poppy also accused Luxander of being an alcoholic because Luxander had like 2 beers before getting in a voice call. Really crazy. Demon Mama, freak in her own right. Doesn't talk to Demon Mama anymore. Demon Mama never even made a statement about it, in my opinion. Sage was in the Poppycule for a while. This is another partner. They were in a Poppycule together. They were in the Poppyverse. And then Sage tried to commit suicide in a video game, and all of Sage's friends called a wellness check and got her help, and then Poppy was like, you should have called me, I could have saved her. And then so Sage obviously was like, fuck everybody who's not Xena and Poppy. Sage has now escaped the Poppycule, so yay, let's go. Sage has now escaped the Poppycule. She is free, good for her, okay? Let's see. Keffels, she really liked Keffels, but obviously, Poppy tried to drag everybody into this fight by sending everybody the Guardian Acorn article that had Noah's picture with a rapist over the front of it in Grand Theft Auto font. She was sending that to everybody, and everybody was like, "This is insane. I don't want anything to do with this." So Keffels like blocked her. She was like, "I don't want to talk about this." Mind you, the Guardian Acorn article was written by a pedophile who is one of Poppy's closest friends. We'll get to that. Don't worry. White Nervosa is the head of White Forest, the streamer collective or whatever the fuck that clapped Xena and Poppy's website because Xena and Poppy blackmailed another side character that we'll get to named Dormu, which is illegal, which is why they terminated Poppy's contract. White Nervosa and White Forest, they have their own shit going on. You know, it's a private company. They can clap your website anytime they want for any fucking reason under the sun. And obviously, we didn't think about that. At the time that this happened, Poppy was like, I have a lot of coders in my community. I'm going to build my own website. And we see how well that went. So fun. Lumi was White Nervosa's partner. Lumi was in Poppy's Discord, and Poppy confronted Lumi and said, was I raped, yes or no? And Lumi was like, I don't like that you're giving me an ultimatum. And then Poppy was like, you can't both sides rape Lumi. You have to give me an answer. And then so they fell out, and then Poppy attacked White Nervosa because White Nervosa, I think, drinks a lot or something like that. And then White Nervosa was like, why don't you go tend to your girlfriend before she tries to kill herself again? It was fucking awesome. And then Vosh, Poppy paid Vosh $5 in a super chat to get him to say happy birthday to her. Very pathetic, very cringe, very gay. She like delusionally thought that they were like best friends. She would always react to his content and watch his content and shit like that. He doesn't even know who she is, and he doesn't care. So based, amazing. Okay. Beyond Safe Words is another creator that I don't know a ton about. To my understanding, Beyond Safe Words is somebody that has like a pretty high degree in like psychology or something. I remember Beyond Safe Words talking on President Sunday's stream one time about Not So Erudite and how her qualifications are dog shit. Maybe if you guys want me to like have a literal like Bossman Jack crash out later, we'll watch a Not So Erudite video. But nonetheless, we'll move on with that. Okay. So former Inner Circle, moving along, we have Melina. Melina is the ex that compiled all of these documents. God bless her. She's a little crazy, but everybody involved in this has their own shit going on. Let's just be mindful of that, okay? Got their own shit going on. Paco, Aztec, these are two people that were in a Discord call that allegedly raped Sage via Discord. So Sage is here. I don't want to relitigate Sage because Sage has escaped the Poppycule. So we wish her well in her journeys throughout the universe without the ball and chain that is Poppy and Xena. But anyway, so Aztec, Rain, and like a couple of other people were in a Discord call. Somebody was jerking off in the Discord call allegedly, and Sage forgot conveniently that she couldn't hang up the Discord call. So she claims that she was sexually assaulted. And then Aztec, Paco, and Rain are the people that got Sage committed after she tried to redact it herself. Poppy also, Rain is Native American and then, or indigenous, whatever term you prefer. And Poppy loves to like tiptoe around calling her racial slurs. She also wanted really desperately to call Melina and Uncle Tom, but she was too scared to say it. Hella, former partner, there was crossover with Sage and Hella. Sage was in like literally the psych ward, and Hella was there visiting. Hella was also the one that gave us the lore that their apartment's fucking disgusting based. Kira, don't really know that much about that one. Gayfesh, once described as like the creepy butler in a murder mystery. He's always around when freak shit happens. Accurate. Okay. Also is kind of on like his weird fuck shit. I don't know. We don't like each other, but I couldn't identify why we don't really like each other. We weren't meant to be. Okay, we weren't meant to be. Nightwild is here. Nightwild created a document in Nightwild's own words, a quote-unquote schizo document. To my understanding, and Nightwild can correct me if I'm wrong, and we'll read more about this in a moment. Nightwild was in active psychosis while writing this document. And this document included a docs of several people that Nightwild couldn't possibly know the docs information of. It was given by Xena and Poppy. And it was kind of a way for Xena and Poppy to like talk shit about people, but without taking the smoke. Obviously, you know, pretty interesting, okay? Dormu was 19 years old. Poppy is like 42, I think. So at the time, Poppy was like 40. Dormu was 19. Dormu's partner was out of town. Poppy was like, hey, do you want to come and hang out with me for a little bit? Dormu was like, yeah, sure, whatever. Dormu came, stayed with Poppy. Poppy flashed Dormu and was like, what? They're just titties or whatever the fuck. And Dormu was like, that kind of makes me uncomfortable. Please don't do that. And then they made fun, Xena and Poppy made fun of Dormu for being like a prude. Dormu posted a testimony and said like, this is what happened. Obviously this was a red flag. I'm not saying that I was like raped or anything like that, but like, this is like a weird, like red flag or whatever the fuck, you guys. And then Poppy threatened Dormu. Dormu was seeking asylum, and Poppy threatened litigation and blackmail against Dormu in order to get Dormu to like retract their statement, essentially, which is inadvertently what got them clapped with White Nervosa and White Forest, because that is illegal to blackmail people. And it's also an incredibly shitty thing to do, considering that, you know, Dormu was looking for asylum at the time. Anything that could fuck that up is actually really, really disgusting in my opinion, but nonetheless. Patchwork Heart, we should be familiar with Patchwork Heart. That is Lio Convoy's former adopted child thing. I don't know. Poor Patchwork. Nothing but the best for Patchwork, okay? Patchwork has their own freak allegations going on, but Patchwork has like literally been victimized in every single community, forced to draw porn for Lily Orchard, you know, berated by Lio Convoy, you know, manipulated and brain fucked by Xena and Poppy. You know, Patch, all the love in the world, to get off the fucking internet. This is very obviously an unsafe place for you. Dormu did also famously crash out my Discord because Don't Smoke in Bed posted a selfie, and it like, Don't Smoke in Bed is so fucking slay and cunt and hot that Dormu crashed out. Dormu also tried to do gay ops on me. That's why Dormu is not here anymore, because Dormu tried to gay ops me, and I said, get the fuck out. You're fucking gay. Don't do that shit. That's gay. Yep. And then time out quickly. This is a periodic reminder. We're not bothering any of these people. We're not harassing any of these people. Do not go and talk to these people. Don't tip the cows. Don't touch the poo. Don't crawl into the animal enclosure. Whatever, you know, euphemism you would like to use in this certain instance. We are not doing that. If I find out or it is revealed to me that you are doing that, I will ban you in every community that I have access to. It's inappropriate. We're not going to do it. We are silent observers. Well, not silent, but we are peaceful observers. Okay. We do not tip the cows, and we do not get in the animal enclosure. Okay. Ghost and Audrey, I don't know much. This is another partner that we didn't really get to know a lot about. And then so we have unfriendly content creators. We have Turkey Tom. Obviously, Turkey Tom made a video about about Poppy and Xena. Got like 2 million views. Hilarious. Misinformation, but you know, either way, funny. Stardust covered Xena and Poppy a lot. There's this Malcolm guy who I've heard is fat phobic. Terrible, very transphobic. I don't like this guy at all. This should be in red, I think, because that guy sucks. Keldoge, No Comment Chick, Chud Logic, Quaben, Brianna Wu. Brianna Wu, actually, I don't think it matters anymore. All bets are off. Doesn't matter anymore. When Poppy was copyright striking my videos, I knew exactly what she was doing. She was fishing for a dox. I'm not stupid. So I had asked around. I was like, you know, do I need to contact a lawyer to send, you know, something back to counterclaim it, because I'm not sending this fucking psycho any of my personal information. I got in contact with pretty fucking impressive attorney, thanks to Brianna Wu. You know, she gets credit where credit is due, and then she offered to throw down for a fund, which I appreciate what's given. Fuck Brianna Wu, but sometimes she's a little bit slay. Sometimes a little bit slay. Beautiful. Victor Burns is another small YouTuber. He was able to get an interview with Snowflake after the fact, which was amazing. Good content. Go give Victor Burns the views. Ruin got kicked out of my server for being racist. Very crazy. Ruin also hates fat people, which we're kindred hearts. But nonetheless, Ruin was somebody that was covering Poppy a long time ago, before this whole shit even blew up. Ruin was homeless at the time, and Ruin was like live streaming and like fucking around on Google Maps or something like that. And Poppy accused Ruin of doxing and reported literally every single one of his donation links. Just to say fuck you, basically. And again, at the time, Ruin was homeless, so exceptionally cruel, in my opinion. Of course, I don't think that just like fucking around on Google Maps was like, you know, a thing or whatever. But yeah, so she did do that to Ruin. That was pretty fucked up. And then CD call Lily Orchard. You know, something wicked this way comes. Alleged dog fucker, pedophile, alleged rapist, all this other shit, whatever the fuck. We've all been there before. I'm not relitigating the entire Lily Orchard lore. We'll be here for like 10 years. Okay. They have a crossover because Poppy actually really liked Lily Orchard for a while. She was a really big fan of Lily Orchard. And then Courtney Orchard, the alleged victim of and sister of Lily Orchard was reaching out to different content creators saying like, my sister is actually abusive and dangerous. Really need help getting her, her shit clapped or whatever the fuck. Can somebody please help me, etc., etc., etc. And the only person, surprisingly, that allowed Courtney on was Poppy and Xena. They have all the exclusive content with Poppy, or excuse me, with Courtney Orchard. This was kind of like the big surge in their channel and their viewership is the interviews with Courtney Orchard and stuff like that. During these interviews where they're interviewing Courtney Orchard about being incestuously raped, allegedly, by her sister Lily Orchard, Poppy is hitting on Courtney. And if you don't believe me, go and watch the fucking VOD. On my life, she is fucking hitting on Courtney Orchard. While they're talking about the alleged incestuous rape, she's hitting on her. After the fact, Poppy sent Courtney incest porn and was like, isn't this hot? After just interviewing an alleged incest survivor. Very cringe, very gay, crash out. And then after all the shit blew up in the Poppyverse and Poppy realized that she had no allies around her, she actually offered a truce with Lily Orchard, and Lily was like, fuck off, Poppy. It was awesome. It was awesome. Okay, so the Neo Bedell Writing Club. So TLDR, Bedells are usually trans women who think that trans men are evil. It's like you're betraying womanhood, or like you're basically choosing to be the bad gender. People will argue that Bedell is a slur. It's not. It was previously a slur. It was used to describe intersex people. It's akin to hermaphrodite, but it's different. Anyway, Bedells are usually, there's like 10 of them in total. But they all run around and they fucking shit all over trans men. And like, trans men suck, trans men are stupid, trans men are oppressors, trans men are evil, they chose the wrong gender, blah, 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 blah. There's like 10 or 12 of these people that are super fucking annoying. No Flake, the one that Poppy accused of rape by deception, was friends with a couple of these people, so it was like an easy target for Poppy. So these are some of the people, that Poppy was going after. Faye Rin and No Flake dated for a while, and Poppy was like, I have no issues with Faye Rin. I just want her to be happy and healthy and safe or whatever, as she's dating her alleged rapist. Very bizarro behavior or whatever the fuck. And then, so we have other exes. We have Lorelai Bailey, if that name sounds familiar to you. It should. This is somebody who was like an FBI informant, an alleged rapist as well. Crazy. Fake ass Autumn, irrelevant. Alistair, irrelevant. Rin, irrelevant. All of these people are pretty irrelevant. And then we have the anti-Lily Orchard crowd that orbited Poppy because of her attacks on Lily Orchard. We have Courtney Pete, Brittany is in here. We have KP, I love Kim Possible a lot. And then Lyle Convoy, June the King, Psy. These are all the people that she thought that she could, kind of build bridges with, but could not. So, and then random internet haters. Helios is the one that runs the Tumblr blog that's been archiving her for like ever, which is, Tumblr is Kiwi Farms for gay people.
Malcolm has all the IQ of a baked potato, so no, I don't think so.
O no Angel donated $5 through Super Chat. Poppy and Liu would be besties if Poppy didn't assist men. It pedi sui far squat forais vital di mutual sweeping.
Oh, thank you very much, everybody. Witness, thank you for the $5. Yeah, they're like two little peas in a pod. It's very true. It's very true. It's actually kind of cute. I don't know if they've ever interacted, but I bet that'd be good. And then so we have, we obviously have on here notable Kiwi farmers. Carolyn made the thread, Disco Snake, Investigator, Big Beefus, Meme Lord, great memes. I don't know who this one is. I don't remember this one. And then Punish Neko. Poppy like called out, punished Neko on Twitter and called him an F slur. Brave take. I don't know. So this is the Poppyverse as I have explained it to you. Before we move on, do we have any questions, comments, concerns, thoughts, or feelings? Is there anything that we need to clarify before we move on? What we are going to be reading today is Nightwild's doc. After escaping Xena and Poppy. Xena and Poppy foster their community specifically, similarly to Lyle Convoy, where it's, give me you're trans, you're raped, you're weary, you're tired, you're mentally ill. And Poppy used the I'm trans and I'm a therapist angle to be like, oh, I can provide you all this support and resources, like that kind of shit, right? So we kind of have the same issue going on where we have a very vulnerable community, and then using that community, of course, to be weaponized against others. If there was anybody that was like a traitor to Poppy, she started using the word, what word did she use? Quisling, because she can't She can't say capo. She's not Jewish. She can't say that word. But quisling, where they were people in her community were traitors if they didn't believe her. So Nightwild made a lengthy document about their experiences in the thick of it. And like I said, again, no disrespect meant here, but Nightwild was in active psychosis during all of this. So that is something that is important to keep in mind, okay? Are PNZ even active anymore? No, and this brings us to the grand conclusion. Poppy announced the other day that she is in fact being sued for defamation by Snowflake because she called her a rapist and spread around that article with rapist over the front of it. Is Annie Gallagher on here? Did we miss that one? Oh, Annie is right here. Oh, fuck. Hang on. We totally forgot this. Okay, so I mentioned that Guardian Acorn article that had a rapist in the Grand Theft Auto font. So these are two more notable characters really quick, you guys, really quick. So Annie, right here, Annie is the one that wrote the article about how Snowflake is a rapist or whatever the fuck and put her picture on the front of the article with rapist over it in the Grand Theft Auto font. Oh, I know my alerts are quiet. I have the volume turned down for the spooky music. I'll turn it back up in a moment. Thank you for letting me know. Annie is a pedophile, and this is documented. Annie is well, she calls herself a map. She's a pedophile. There are logs of Annie admitting that she is a pedophile. Annie actually had a debate with a small YouTuber called Just a Pillow many years ago about Lolicon and how she is in fact a pedophile. And then there were logs leaked that there were people underage in her Discord server sharing nude images of themselves. And she was fostering a known pedophile named Zeeb Demon and defended him openly. Annie also posts regularly about how she wants to fuck children. She regularly posts about how she wants to incestuously fuck children. Willie is Poppy's strongest fed poster. This guy talks about like threatening to rape people all the time. Like imagine Gilded Poo, but like it's not funny. He's literally like, I'm gonna come and rape all these people. It's fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy. And then Twisty, I don't remember much about Twisty, but yeah. And then Poppy also has OSDD or claims to have OSDD. OSDD is other specified dissociative disorder, which just means anything that doesn't fit neatly under the diagnostic criteria for dissociative identity disorder, formerly known as multiple personality disorder. But Poppy also claims that she has tulpas, which is a Buddhist practice of creating thought forms called tulpas. And so she says that she has alters from BPD and a spiritual practice. So no, she doesn't have fucking alters. And they all conveniently come and go at, the right times to change the tone of a conversation conveniently. And then, oh, there was one more thing. One of the alters is a dead Thai sex worker that spirit inhabits the body of a human tiger shark hybrid that has hallucinogenic vaginal secretions that are laced with LSD and MDMA. It doesn't have to be LSD and MDMA. Those drugs already exist. They're called toonies. Do your research. And then one of the other alters is a hyena hybrid because hyenas have pseudo clits, which is basically just like a giant clit wiener thing. I don't pretend to understand. Xena isn't really relevant. Xena never is relevant. Xena doesn't talk. Xena just sits there and gets cucked by the noise gate on their mic. Anything else I'm missing? Anything else I'm missing, guys? Anything else I'm missing? Let's turn off the spooky music. I think that's good. I think we got the spooky music on lock. Are we missing anything? You guys are like, Malcolm, that's insane. I'm telling you the truth. All of this has been previously documented. If you don't believe me, go watch my old coverage. All of this has been previously documented, so. Yeah, the tiger shark's insane. And obviously, the dead Thai sex worker died of a drug overdose, and that's why the dead Thai sex worker shark alter has hallucinogenic vaginal secretions. Yeah. Okay. Any questions, comments, concerns, thoughts, or feelings? Anything that we feel like we have missed before we move on? Anything else? You fix your lighting. Beautiful. I'm happy for you. Thank you, Paisley. You're my strongest soldier. You know. Xena is also the alleged primary abuser of the child Spawn, with Xena like crashing out all the fucking time about Spawn like literally existing and being in the kitchen and like cooking and shit. Oh, that's right. The shark persona of her alter aged in the headspace. And then one of them is also lost in the headspace as well. No, it's because she died of a drug overdose. Adam, don't test me on my poppy lore. Don't test me on my poppy lore. I'm a poppy historian. Shut the fuck up, Mr. Pussy. I hate you. Shut the fuck up. Oh, there was also a sign in the bathroom. They made a schedule for the bathroom because you need scheduled bathroom time. That's totally how that works, guys. Yeah. No, Peppermint is still lost in the headspace. Peppermint is still lost in the headspace. Oh, and there was also a Spiger, which is a spider-tiger hybrid altar, also known as a Spiger, which sounds crazy. Sounds crazy. Yeah, it is just having imaginary friends. Oh, Pepper was lost in the headspace. One of the Pepper ones got lost in the headspace. I don't know. Yes, that is the news, Anonymous. That is the news. Yeah. Yeah, they found Pepper. Beautiful. Good, good, good. Beautiful. I'll be defending my dissertation soon, you guys. I'll be presenting it soon. Don't worry about it. Oh, Poppy also admitted that she finger banged a girl on the dance floor at a Renaissance fair. That's why when we say the Fries model, we say that the R in Fries stands for Renaissance fair, because she admits that she finger banged a girl when she was drunk on the dance floor at a Renaissance fair of all places. What else are we missing, guys? What else are we missing, guys? Is that really it? There's more. There's more.
Malcolm has all the IQ of a baked potato, so no, I don't think so.
Ticle Studios donatet $1 amb 99 centaus truc superchat. Averiona in chat is a Malcolm Alte.
This is a strong message and also very true Malcolm lore. Everybody witness, please. Sentinel is the one that like comes out and yells at people, but Sentinel like never comes out. I don't know why. And then after meeting Poppy, Sage also figured out that she had DID or something, and then she had an altar that was named Cerise, and so that one had a silly French accent. Yeah. I'm sure there's more. No, she does not have a diagnosis of DID. I would also bet good money that she does not have a diagnosis of OSDD, because in the diagnostic criteria specifically, it specifies that you cannot like meet diagnostic criteria if you're like, if it's substance related or if it's like a cultural or religious practice. So the two examples are like, if I get really fucking drunk and I just destroy my fucking house and I'm like, oh, that wasn't me, that was my altar, Kevin, that doesn't count because I'm altering my mind state. The other one that doesn't count is religious or cultural practices, because Tulpa is a Buddhist practice. So if it is culturally significant, so like the example that I use is like sometimes evangelicals talk in tongues. That doesn't mean that they have like an alternate personality. It's a spiritual practice. It's like a religious experience. Those exclude you specifically from the diagnostic criteria for DID and OSDD. Yeah, the DID epidemic is insane. I don't think that being blind with rage is dissociative. It's just kind of like not giving a fuck and, you know, losing it. Her AIDS takes as well. That's true. The AIDS take, we can go over that as well really quick. Poppy did a stream long ago where she was talking about how because she was a therapist. Whatever. She was like, if I had a client that came to me and disclosed to me that they were HIV positive, they were not telling their partners and having unprotected sex, I wouldn't report it because there's no immediate risk of harm. And then there's no like imminent danger because it's so difficult to spread HIV with PIV sex. Which was crazy. She did also get a womb tattoo. True. That was terrible. White people and tribal tattoos. Terrible mix, guys. Terrible mix. Never do it. Never do it. So yeah, that's Oh, and she also said that she would refer pedophilic clients to a sex worker that looked like a child. She said, yeah, there's this sex worker that I know that looks like a child, and when I have clients that express to me pedophilic desires or tendencies, I refer them to this prostitute. She did say that. She did say that. Yeah, so that did also happen. Yeah, so that's also really cool. Yeah, so overall, insane. Overall insanity. Overall insanity. Yes, Mr. Mollusk. Yes, that was the thing that happened. That was the thing that happened. Yes, very true. We also briefly crossed paths once upon a time because I made a tweet about socialization and then she did a stream segment on it. So we briefly crossed paths, but we've never spoken to each other directly. And then she has a GoFundMe that she set up for like 2 weeks to try to crowdfund to, combat this horrible defamation campaign that is being launched against her, even though she falsely accused some random person as being a rapist and quite literally slandered them. She's crowdfunding for that. It's been like 2 weeks, 0 donos, and so that gets a sad air horn, you guys. I get a sad air horn. Sad air horn.
Malcolm has all the IQ of a baked potato, so no, I don't think so.
Havia donatet $2 australians through superchat. Imagina trying to explain this shit to a normia.
Oh, thank you very much. Witness! And then sad air horn. And then the other exciting news is that Poppy owes like $10,000 to the IRS because she didn't realize that non-deductible income you pay back in taxes when you file your taxes. So like if you make, like 10 grand in your own business, you have to pay taxes on that because it's not automatically deducted. So she's also like 10K in debt with the IRS. And then she still to like this very second is commissioning furry porn. That's where all of our money is going. So very fun, very fun, very fun. Yeah. Very cool, very cool, very slay, very fresh, very awesome. So that's where we are. I think that we've covered just about everything, you guys. I think that is truly just about everything. I think that's truly just about everything. Yeah, very fun, very fun.
Malcolm has all the IQ of a baked potato, so no, I don't think so.
METLMN87 donatet $5 through superchat. Deo you think God never choose himself because feas his creations?
Yes, I actually completely believe that. Thank you for the $5. Everybody witness, please. 100%. That's what's happening. 100%. Okay. So here's the deal, guys. Here's the deal. Now that we're all caught up, what we're going to do is quick mandatory bathroom time, guys. Quick mandatory bathroom. This is your scheduled bathroom time. If you don't go now, you don't get to go again later, okay? So scheduled bathroom time is right now. We're going to come back, and then we're going to read this document, okay? We're going to come back, and then we're going to lock the fuck in, and we're going to read, okay? So everybody behave. Don't unlock the car for anybody who isn't me, and we'll be right back, Girly Pops, okay? Everybody behave.
ride, no fear inside. State of mind, we breaking. In the night we ride, no fear inside. State of mind, we breaking. In the night we ride, no fear inside. State of mind, we breaking. Yo, we thuggin', never gonna stop. Yo, we thuggin', never gonna stop. In the night we ride, no fear inside. State of mind, we breaking. In the night we ride, no fear inside. State of mind, we breaking. In the night we ride, no fear inside. State of mind, we breaking. Yo, we thuggin', never gonna stop. Yo, we thuggin', never gonna stop.
All right, I'm back. All right. Is everybody ready? Is everybody ready, Freddies? Are all of my Freddies readies? All right. I'm going to mute alerts for this so we can just get through it, guys. But feel free to continue to send me money. Friendly reminder again, we're not bothering anybody involved in this. We're leaving everybody alone. Yada, 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 yada. Okay, so everything's backwards. Everything's backwards. I'm not used to it. Ugh. Okay, so this is from Nightwile, who is blessing us with their presence this evening. Okay, let's begin. This is called Devotion Behind the Screen. So let's begin. This is called, or it says, content warning. This article contains discussions of cults, undue influence, coercive control, brainwashing, CSA, SA, bigotry, sexual coercion, grooming, incest, pedophilia, and similar. So it begins. I'm a cult survivor. If you know me in any form or depth, if you know me in any form of depth or have paid attention to my posts online, you would have been well acquainted with the fact that I have been in a cult. I grew up in a Christian fundamentalist adjacent Anglican church with pedophilic youth pastors who sex traffic me. But Dusk, isn't this article about online cults? Well, yes, it is. You see, I'm a two-time cult survivor. My family left the specific church when I grew up, and my dad had to move for his job as a federal agent around the time I was 9. I got out by luck. I never fully deconstructed or even realized how deep my time in the cult affected me. I knew the CSA did, but it never occurred to me that cult rhetoric, God, my allergies help, and my mind would make me vulnerable in the future. In October 2022, I joined a Discord server run by a woman named Poppy Diabolique, as Ethel would say. By the time I left in September 2024, I would be horrifically groomed and traumatized by a woman twice my age, her fiance, 15 years my senior, and their friends, almost a decade older than me. The foundation was an online cult, and I fell victim to it. So, online cults. Some of you may be surprised to learn that online cults are in fact a real phenomenon. A lot of people, when they hear cult, imagine the most extreme cases, such as the People's Temple, Jonestown, Heaven's Gate, the Manson Cult, or Yuma, I don't know how to say that word, so I'm not even going to try. These groups are groups that some go to the most extreme means to justify their ends and have actively killed other people or themselves to enforce their ideology. This one engaged in terrorist attacks in hopes of bringing about Armageddon. Thankfully, everyone in this Armageddon never came. So, if that's what makes a cult, then it would be reasonable to assume that an online version would be impossible. At least it would to the uninformed. Even online groups have been proven to be deadly and contributed to active terrorist attacks. 764 is a notorious organization that actively engages in cyber sex trafficking, CSAM rings, swatting, sextortion, and terroristic acts. This is taken from the aesthetics and the ideas of Satanism, the actual religion, not somebody worshiping literal Satanism, or literal Satan, and bastardize it to fit a neo-Nazi agenda. They often recruit children and were initially founded by a child who had already been groomed into other extremist groups. Another really good example of like online cults too is Love Is One. That one's my favorite. That one is my favorite online cult, is Love Has One. So further reading for anybody interested in learning more about online cults and their impact, I have compiled a comprehensive list of reading articles and sources on the topic. Another one that I would add in here would totally be the Zizian cult. If anybody remembers that, TBT, that one was fire. That was fire. Okay. However, the extremity of that group is not the only type of cult. That is one of the more horrific examples of cults that can form online and in the world in general. Most cults are neither Jonestown nor the Manson cults, or excuse me, oh my god. Oh god, the sparkling water is attacking me. God. Most cults operate with no pushback from legal bodies, engage in far less criminal activity in the open. Many groups do commit crimes, but those are usually hidden, quiet, and possibly even unknown to high-ranking members. Now, we're discussing cults in the likes of NXIVM, Jehovah's Witnesses, Mormons, fundamentalist groups, and churches, and the MLM your weird aunt has spent thousands of dollars on. For discussing destructive cults, in this case, we're going off of the work of Stephen Hassan, the Byte model, according to a page on this website. The deconstructive cult pyramid-shaped authoritarian regime with a person, group, or people that have dictatorial control. It uses deception to recruit new members. It does not tell them what the group is, what the group actively believes, and what will be expected of them if they become members. It also uses undue influence to keep people dependent, obedient, and loyal. This page includes a helpful infographic on the way a cult is often structured, with leaders, sub-leaders at the top of the group, with fewer and fewer members as it goes further down. This, of course, will change depending on the size of the cult itself. The Foundation, the cult that I initially joined in 2022, is a mini cult. The people who were properly in that cult were primarily its leaders, sub-leaders, and devotees. Rank and file members were likely to be considered fans of the leaders, YouTube's channel, Xena and Poppy, previously the fans, trans girl therapists. So we have the top leaders, the devotees, the member files, fringe members, okay? The primary way to evaluate if something is a destructive cult is in a setting that is not a courtroom would be the BITE model. The BITE is broken down into 4 quadrants: behavior control, information control, thought control, and emotional control. The basic idea is that limiting behavior, information, expressing your thoughts and emotions, and similar activities will slowly change how you actually think and interact with the world. People who are repeatedly told something is true are likely to adopt that into their internal understanding of the world. So here we have behavior, control of the environment, rigid rules, rewards and punishments, dependence and obedience. Information is deception. Propaganda discourages access of outside information. Insider, outsider doctrine. Thought, all or nothing, evil versus good, us versus them dogma. Encourages only good and proper thoughts. Thought stopping techniques. Emotional includes feeling chosen or special, guilt and manipulation, emotion blocking techniques, or phobia indoctrination. So these 4 areas are further broken down into a sort of checklist, which includes various examples of possible ways that control may be exerted over a member. You can find the full list on this page. I will be using this as a way to discuss the online cult I got sucked into, though I will only be addressing points that apply to a cult that I was in. Using my experiences as an example may be helpful for those who have experienced similar or see red flags in their social groups. This is only one way the online cult may present this is only one way an online cult may present itself, but the methods will remain relatively similar. So, moving on, we have order in the Foundation. So as I stated before, I joined Poppy and Xena's Discord server, the Foundation, in October of 2022. At this time, I was 18 years old and had barely just started college. This means that I was in a very vulnerable place in my life. I was away from my parents for the first time, living with strangers whom I was terrified due to my anxiety and PTSD, and desperately trying to figure out who I was. Identity is such a messy thing for people of that age, and I'm still trying to figure that out myself now at 21. Unfortunately for me, this is also a prime time for cults to target and recruit members. Most people who join a cult are recruited when they are in college or at the college itself. I was relieved in a sense to find out I wasn't alone in mistakenly joining a cult in my teenage years. Cults often want to change somebody's identity to fit a mold, and younger people have a less developed sense of self and are far easier to mold than others. At first, I was a bit put off by the structure of the Discord server. It seemed there were rankings for those who were considered the most trustworthy people and fans of Poppy and Xena. Their server was a spoof on the idea of the SCP Foundation, and their rankings took after some of the terms used. The following is a list to describe the best in my memory of how the server was structured and the meanings of the title that you were appointed. The highest I personally ever got was Akron, Archon. This list is how the roles felt to me, and what I associate now with the words within my mind. This is something that I will have to work through and deconstruct. So 1 is safe. These are people who just easily access, that are just in the easily accessible areas of the server. They are not inherently bad, but they are not to be trusted. It is important to keep an eye out for anybody who rocks the boat or brings in too much negativity. Safe is meant to be positive for anybody who is filled with nothing but the utmost best behavior to make people feel comfortable. If people rock the boat too much, they are banned. Euclid, or Elucid, I don't know, I have dyslexia, the same for me, Chief. These people are a bit more trusted. They can handle harder topics, and they can be used to discuss things outside of a purely positive outlook of all circumstances. They may even get a chance to talk to Poppy and Xena. Discourse and personal support are allowed here as well. This is where the real community is found, and it is 16 plus, but there was only ever one 16-year-old here, so feel free to share porn in the voice calls as long as the mods wipe the logs afterwards. If you act properly, get close enough to Poppy and Xena, you may even become friends and rank move up higher in the levels of the server for personal friends. Keter, by and large, Keter is for those who are incredibly trustworthy. They get to know in-depth information about what's going on and are incredibly close in the friend group. This is where calls would happen almost daily at least and last for hours. You have more responsibility and expectations, and you're mature enough to handle them, and being friends with Poppy and Xena means helping them. Friends help each other after all, and it's best if every single friend likes every other single person. There really can't be any conflict, and it's a problem if there is. You need to care more about keeping the friend group together than your own comfort with another person. At the very least, keep the peace, and if you do well, perhaps you'll be allowed to help with the channel or even have the privilege to moderate for the server. Thamiel, Flamel, I don't know. It's always good to help friends out. Poppy and Xena are incredibly busy with the channel. For some money, they might pay you to edit their videos or get you to do it for free. Being paid was mostly fine as long as you never brought up comparable wages to other content creators their size. It's a privilege to be able to work for them, and their labor is going to a good cause. Any slight disagreement with Poppy and Xena's ideology puts your ability to do your job into question, and you shouldn't question the people who are doing such good things for you and others. Thank you very much, Ty, for the $2. The other thing that I'll like just put a pin in here as well is I remember that there was a falling out. I can't remember who it was, but it was one of their editors that was editing shit, I want to say for free. And there was like a conversation about, I can't remember who it was, but there was like a conversation about like, I can't let you edit this video or do this work for me or, you know, do this video because you disagree with me on this take. I remember that specifically. I can't remember who the fuck it was. I think that was in I think that was in like Melina's document, wasn't it? I think it was somebody unrelated, but it was somebody who was told that they couldn't like edit a specific video because they disagreed with Poppy. I can't remember who the fuck it was though off the top of my head. You guys know what I'm talking about. You guys know who I'm talking about. I know Melina remembers, but I can't remember who the fuck it was, or if that person wanted to, like, not be involved or whatever, but I remember seeing logs. Yeah, that was why you guys got into a fight, is because you were trying to, like, help with the conflict or whatever the fuck. So, yeah, somebody was, there are logs of somebody being, like, ousted because they disagreed with Poppy, in regard to editing choices or, you know, takes for the editing, so. Okay. Archon! Some people aren't that good at video editing. Some just don't need to work on the channel, especially when Poppy and Xena started taking a break from streaming because of the evil harassment campaign by defectors who never truly cared about the group's ideas and principles. Becoming an Akron allows you to be more involved in fighting back against the people who hurt Poppy and Xena and are evil and hurting others. You gain access to the large archive of A-logging and all the plans to retaliate against the people who dared speak out. What? You wouldn't have joined if you had known this initially. Well, now you're in too deep to care. My allergies. Archon. Okay, I was close enough. Apollyon are those trusted with the most special access to a secretive group call that only allows 5 people max, called the O5 Council. It's odd to have an even more super secret group. No, don't think about it. Just keep working and doing everything for Poppy and Xena, and maybe one day you'll allow to see the channel. Go back to the infographic of destructive cult structures, and we can see how these rankings played into the dynamics. Apollyon is the top leader, sub-leaders of the Akron, are Akron. Core devotees are Thurla and Keter. Rank and file members are Lucid and Safe, oscillates between fringe and rank files. The outermost fringe members are those who are fans of Poppy and Xena's YouTube channel but have never been in the server or not anymore. These people may buy into their narratives but not know much about the inner workings of the group. Now that we have the groundwork for the understanding of the ranking system, it's easier to understand the ways the Foundation checks off things in the bite model. So let's take a bite out of the Foundation. Oh, clever. Love that. Very fun. Very fun. Love that. Okay. First and foremost, I want to stress that this is based on my own experiences and interpretations of events. Other survivors may have different experiences and opinions, and I am not the ultimate authority on this topic. However, I do strongly believe in my current understanding of what happened to me, that I have the support and the affirmation of my doctors, and this is an accurate understanding. I will only be discussing the elements that apply to the Foundation and not other aspects of the bite model. The Foundation is something that I consider slightly more destructive than the average cult, just due to some of the ideas it promotes and the way that it controls people. It's far less severe than the one that I grew up in, and closer to a New Age spiritual cult and political cults that form online. Behavioral control. My allergies. Okay, behavioral control. The elements that are accurate to say occurred within the Foundation during my time are as follows. 1, regulate the individual's physical reality. Can you guys hear that music? Hang on, wait. Is it ever going to play? Okay, here we go. Can you guys, if I'm talking, can you hear this in the background? Is there feedback from this? Hello, I'm talking. Do you guys hear the music in the background? Hello, I'm talking. Do you guys hear the music in the background? La 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 la. Hell yeah. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, excellent. Okay, so allow me to take it from the top. Regulate the individual's physical reality. Aspects of my life changed drastically the more that I got involved with this group. I was expected to behave in certain ways and start mimicking the behaviors of other members. I was expected to be more involved with certain subjects and discourses. And watch almost all of the content Poppy and Xena produced. I had to spend excessive time with the group and try to shift my schedule around group time. Wait, can you guys hear it? You guys are fucking with me. Stop. You guys are so annoying. I hate you. Okay, number 2. Dictate where and how and with whom the member lives and associates or isolates. This was not as fully present as other subjects, but it was made clear that the group disapproved of me moving in with my now fiance, then partner. Associations were expected to be cut off without hesitation from higher up members. If higher up members asked me to, of people who had, quote, betrayed the group. You actually do hear it. You can actually hear it. Just slightly. Okay. Just checking. Just checking. Okay. You guys are so... You genuinely... Is it, like, loud? Is it distracting? I think it's Renee Rapp. My wife loves Renee Rapp, unfortunately. Unfortunately, she loves Renee Rapp. Okay, whatever. You guys just... Whatever. Whatever, you guys... You're just gonna have to deal with it. Oh, you're just gonna have to deal with it. Okay. So... This one's crazy. When, how, and with whom the members has sex with. I was constantly pressured to be more sexual and have more sex. I was in denial of my asexuality, and I hadn't realized that was why I didn't care as much about it as Poppy. She mocked me for not having sex with my partner soon enough and tried to convince me to go out and have more sex. She was clear that she thought that I was pathetic to have struggled to initiate anything with my partner when I was 18 and visited them. I felt pressured to be more sexual and to sexualize myself. It became normalized at times to even act sexually in calls in the Keter section of the server and had an NSFW channel primarily for nudes. Never goon, guys. Never goon. Never goon. Never. Never goon. I think that Poppy's just like a turbo fucking virgin, dude. Just a turbo fucking virgin. Poppy also identifies as a succubus. That's her xenogender. If we're doing xenogender discourse in God's Great Year of 2025. Her xenogender is a succubus. And then she bragged one time that her body count is like 26 or something like that. She's like 42. And she's a succubus, and her body count is only double digits. I would expect a lot more. I would expect a lot more from a succubus. Just saying. We're like turbo cucked. Turbo cucked. Turbo cucked. So, okay. Manipulation and deprivation of sleep. So, this is something that we briefly touched on when we were looking at the infographic. We talked a little bit about Dormu, who went to visit Poppy and Xena and stay with them. Dormu details in their experience that they slept in Xena and Poppy's office, which was her goon throne, basically. And that Poppy would be up at all hours of the fucking night on Discord, which naturally disrupted her Dormu's sleep. Like, Poppy was disrupting Dormu's sleep. That was something that I said was crazy as well. And then if you go through and you read the logs with Snowflake and Poppy, there's an entire log dump. Like, literally every message, just about every single fucking message that they have sent each other, you know what I mean, is in there. And they're at crazy hours of the night. Like, there's sometimes, like, 4 or 5 in the morning, and then again at, like, 7 or 8. After they said they were going to sleep and shit like that. Like, insane schedules. Insane schedules. You know what also contributes to migraines? Lack of sleep. That also significantly contributes to migraines. So, just saying. So, very often I would stay up late in group calls. I often felt like I was expected to be in them. And with classes and work in the morning. I had little time to sleep, especially when I was encouraged to work on documents trying to clear Poppy and Xena's names from the allegations of past survivors. And then we have financial exploitation, manipulation, or dependence. I had very little money, and I was a college student. However, I felt pressure to give Poppy and Xena large amounts of money. This wasn't their fault fully, but as older adults, they should have rejected my unhealthy habit, as they knew my financial situation. Another person and I were highly praised for giving them money. Months after I had left, both Poppy and Annie, another member of the foundation, that's the pedophile, donated money to my GoFundMe to try and move me out of Texas with my fiance after Melina, one of Poppy's exes and ex-member of the foundation, shared my GoFundMe. This was done while trying to act like they were special online and truly cared about me, whether it was an attempt to manipulate me back or intimidate me by not leaving me alone after I got contact. I am unsure. So crazy girl. Okay, we have restrict leisure, entertainment, and vacation time. I had far less time to focus on relaxation as I had duties within the group, whether that was to be on calls, mentally and emotionally care for Poppy, work on fights against the detractors, work on or in the server, or otherwise be available at all times to them. I lost much of my free time. 7. Major time spent with the group indoctrination rituals and or self-indoctrination, including the internet. This was a massive point within the foundation. There was an expectation that you would be aware of specific ongoing things in the Twitch poll community, as well as watch most, if not all, of Poppy and Xena's videos. You were also expected to talk to people in the know more consistently if you wish to keep up your status. Inactivity for prolonged periods would lead to demotion. Poppy's ideas also came in part from the book Conflict is Not Abuse, that people were highly encouraged to read or learn from about in Poppy's videos. Whoever wrote this fucking book should be forced to walk the plank. Because this book is fucking dog shit, dude. The chokehold that this book has on middle-aged abusive white women is insane, dude. Insane. It's actually fucking crazy. Actually crazy. So, reward and punishments used to modify behaviors, both positive and negative. If you step too far out of line, you could be demoted in rank, screamed at, or forced to endure public shaming during confessions of your sins, lose privileges, be asked to take a break from your duties, which would make you be viewed as less valuable, and a similar punishment. When you did things well, you would be increasingly love-bombed, praised, and paraded around by Poppy and Xena, have your work boosted and get more attention and treated better overall. Discourage individualism and encourage groupthink. Having too many of your own opinions outside of the group's ideological values was frowned upon. I had to actively erase or dull down parts of myself to be accepted by these so-called friends. I had outspoken ideas about how dark topics such as incest, pedophilia, rape, and abuse should be portrayed in media and ways to do it safely. I was forced to conform and groomed into the idea that all depictions were fine regardless of consent, and if it was for the sexual satisfaction of a dangerous person. I had feelings on various spiritual and religious topics that would be shut down. I was told that my morals were not compatible with the group and forced to leave them behind or lose my main source of company. Number 10. What? What's going on? What's going on in the chat? What are you guys bitching about in the chat? Been warned about what? What are we being warned about? I don't know what we're being warned about. I don't know. I must have missed it. Whatever. Okay, so impose rigid rules and regulations. As most Discords do, the Foundation had rules. These rules only got more rigid and less directly spoken as you got into their higher ranks. I was not allowed to voice discomfort with their actions, or with the actions of anyone in the group, without risk of being yelled at, chastised, demoted, or otherwise punished. It was walking on eggshells. Threaten to harm family and friends. They will go after the friends of people who used to be in their circle if they feel fit. There are threats of what would happen to your friends if you leave and how it would impact the lives of others having been involved. Instill dependency and obedience. This is self-explanatory. There was no order to be kept without doing this first. Separation of families. I, along with some others, were encouraged to go no contact with our families despite the possible consequences. Our true family was with Poppy and Xena. Poppy could be my new mother, so why did I need a mom? Context. My mother is not a good mom. She has always been abusive and has defended my abusers and tried to convince me it was other people instead of them. And while my dad believes and already suspected they were the ones who abused me, my mom has issues, but still chose to be in contact and hopes she becomes a better person. Thus, this section is a hit or miss. So as you can see, there is a very decent number of things that occurred in the Foundation that relate to behavioral control, a total of 13 out of 25 items on the list checked off. This means that this means it has some concerning elements of control exerted on the behavior of its members. Behavior control alone, however, is not enough to call this a cult, but we need to look further. I'm getting no guide. I'm getting no guide. Yeah, it's true. Very true based. Okay. Information control, deception. A, deliberately withhold information. B, distort information to make it more acceptable. Or C, systemically lie to the cult members. Information was always withheld at lower levels, but this pattern continued into higher ranks. I was led to believe fictitious information or was unaware of elements of the other side. For example, the woman that Poppy abused and has since been slandered as a rapist, left and broke up with Poppy while she and Xena were engaged in a mutually abusive fight. She tried to flee and Poppy physically held onto her stuff to stop her from leaving for 3 hours. This is only one of the examples of the lies told. So this is in context, apparently everybody who has visited Xena and Poppy in real life say that they fucking fight. Like they fight. Like they're screaming at each other and shit. Break up. That's terrible. Don't do that. That's crazy. And also don't fight in front of other people. If you guys are going to do that, don't do that in front of other people. That's crazy. I would die before I had a fight like that in front of other people. How embarrassing. So, as the story goes, they were at the hotel room and Snowflake was like trying to leave and Poppy like threw herself on the ground and was like holding on to Snowflake and be like, please don't leave me. And Snowflake says that this happened, for at least an hour, which that's a 911 on speed dial kind of situation, in my opinion. That's fucking insane. So that's what that's in relation to. Minimize or discourage access to non-cult sources, information including internet articles, media, critical information, former members, keep members busy so they don't have time to think or investigate, control the cell phone, texting calls, and internet tracking. It was heavily encouraged that people not look at any of Melina's works about the cult or Poppy. I did, but I got away with it because I was so deeply psychotic and unable to retain information that I actively engaged in the distortion of the information myself. Contact with ex-members was strictly forbidden at the time I left, and any conversation with any of them was grounds for excommunication. Even if I was to try to bring them to our side, we weren't supposed to look at any YouTube videos on Poppy by any creators except for Liana Kersner. There was no control through location tracking nor text calls for all members. They never had my phone number and only contacted me through Discord, but there was stalking of all of our online accounts to make sure we were following the rules, which again is crazy. Liana Kersner is actually schizophrenic in her own right, so whatever, dude. Dog shit content. Compartmentalize information into outsider versus insider doctrines, ensure that the information is not freely accessible, control information at different levels and missions with the group, allow only leaders to decide who needs to know what and when. As with the previous, we were not allowed to have free access to outsider information. It was seen as evil and filled with priming that would brainwash you and turn you away from the truth. The ranks certainly had levels of information available to them as well. The leaders, Poppy and Xena, had the most information and the ultimate final say. Encourage spying on other members, impose a buddy system to monitor and control members, report deviant thoughts, feelings, and actions to leadership, ensure that individual behaviors were monitored by the group. I remember specifically, I don't remember what stream it was. If I have to look for it, I can find it. I'm sure that somebody here knows what it is, but there was a point where Poppy was on stream and she like paused the stream to call out somebody in chat and she was like, oh, DZ did the right thing. Do you know what DZ did? DZ came and asked me about it. Instead of just running to other creators and consuming all these lies and half-truths and all this fucking bullshit, DZ was good. DZ was great. And DZ, did I yell at you one time? No, I didn't. DZ, was I really kind and empathetic to you? Yeah, I was. I remember that stream. Crazy. Okay, so it was essentially necessary that you become friends with other cult members. No matter how you feel about them, you were expected to be willing to report on them if they stepped out of line. If you or others exhibited any signs of dissent or doubt, it was necessary to be brought to the attention of Xena or primarily Poppy. We had to monitor one another's actions to keep each other online. Extensive use of cult-generated information and propaganda, including journals, YouTube, other media, misquoting statements or using them out of context from other non-cult sources. This was something that I both experienced and sadly engaged with while in the cult. While we were encouraged to read all of Annie Gallagher's articles in depth on the situation, as well as the large Google documents I wrote for Poppy and Xena, the videos made by Poppy and Xena, and the videos and podcasts made by Liana Kersner. Sometimes the misquoting of the opposition was deliberate to make them look worse. It was justifiable in the face of ultimate evil. Based. Based, yes. All of my enemies are ontologically evil, and it justifies any acts against them. Very true. Unethical use of confession, information about sins used to disrupt or dissolve identities and boundaries, withholding forgiveness or absolution, manipulation of memory, and possible false memories. One of the major instances that stuck with me and painted the entirety of my experience with the group was my confession of disloyalty to Poppy. I had, during the schism between her and another person by the name of Courtney Orchard / Pete, talked to Courtney past when Poppy made it public that Courtney threatened to come to her home and beat her ass. I have DID and part of that is amnesia, the alters, different states of identities. Who spoke to Courtney had no memory of what Poppy had revealed. Excuse me. This was a sign of weakness and a failure on the altar's part. I was told to never let them front ever again. Thank you, therapist Poppy. That's totally how that fucking works. I'm sure that Poppy... Dude, just turn off your DID. Don't get me started on DID 10, but like, this is from a fucking counselor, bro. This is from a fucking counselor, bro. Just turn off your DID. Just don't be anxious. Stop being depressed. Turn off your autism, pussy. Oh my fucking god. Literally, lay me 6 feet deep in God's country, you guys, as Blake Shelton so eloquently said. Lay me 6 feet deep in God's country immediately. So this was used against me in the future, and it was eventually used to convince me that Courtney must have abused me when she did no such thing. Poppy was the one who abused me so badly that Dorian went dormant, essentially inactive, and unable to be worked through. This time, the Foundation hit every single item on the list. The amount of control over the information that we had access to or were allowed to view, without keeping it secret, was incredible. So, thought control requires members to internalize the group's doctrine as truth, adopting the group's map of reality, instill black and white thinking, decide between good or evil, organize people into us versus them. I had to accept things into my view of reality that did not initially fit with my views. This included things that went against my morals, beliefs I would not hold about people otherwise, misinformed views on certain groups of people, and similar. There was an extensive amount of black and white thinking in the us versus them mentality. The other was an evil outsider who did not understand things the way that we did. The insider was the good member who understood much and was intellectually superior to the vast majority of the population. I think that Poppy is like intellectually superior to like a bag of potato chips, maybe, possibly. Use of loaded language and cliches with the construct knowledge and stop critical thoughts, reduce complexities into platitudinous buzzwords. There's a lot of this. The ranking terms are one example, but conflict is not abuse was a common saying and was used as a thought terminating cliche. To say that abuse that others and I had suffered was merely conflict. Memories manipulated. I addressed one example in the last section, but it occurred even outside of that. One attempt to talk to me to get me out of the cult by someone I now consider a friend / acquaintance ended in me being convinced that I was being groomed and feeling deeply traumatized by the entire ordeal. In reality, she had just pushed against my psychotic delusion in a way that panicked me, as well as shaken my faith in my cult leader. My distress during this time was dictated to me as being the result of evil abuse and manipulation of this woman by Poppy. She convinced me that I was actively being groomed and that my bouts of psychosis were me being reasonable and standing up. The periods of clarity were me falling for the grooming. Again, this is from a therapist, bro. This is insane. This is fucking insane, bro. Insane. Sorry, small stunt lock. Sorry, guys. My bad. Quick little stunt lock here. Okay. Teaching thought-stopping techniques to shut down reality. So if anything, it started getting through to be that I would have to go back to thinking incredibly hard about what Poppy had said and prepared me for. This led me to immediately consider the idea that I was being groomed by someone. I felt my mental hold on the ideology began to slip from my fingers. Anyone who changes your mind is a groomer and a danger to youth. I had done nothing wrong, and they were trying to bring me to their level. Rejection of rational analysis. No criticism of any kind could ever be true about the Foundation. Anyone who said anything bad whatsoever was evil and working with Kiwi Farms and trying to kill Poppy and Cena. Ooh, I was going to say something mean, but we'll put that one in the pocket for now. I'm seeking the healing light of Christ. I'm not going to say it. Any critical analysis of the rhetoric was a sign of dissent and possible stupidity. Forbid critical discussions about the leader, doctrine, or policy. Poppy would always say that you could bring questions to her, but early on I witnessed her tear a friend of mine apart for daring to question Poppy on her narrative about something. This friend was mocked and belittled in front of the group and made an example of. They walked out of the cult soon after. I'm glad that they are safe. Labeling alternative belief systems as illegitimate, evil, or not useful. Those who believed in the things that Poppy and Xena did not believe were always wrong. There was no room for multiplicity of thought. Install a new map of reality C1. So this section is not all of the items on the list, but it's enough to be of concern. Examples of these are not indicative of a healthy and functional group. If you see similarities in something you're in, it may be good to ask some questions or simply leave. Emotional control, we have manipulate the narrow range of feelings. So doubts were treated as being a bad friend and a sign of struggling. To have the necessary unwavering faith in Poppy. Frustration and anger, sadness were things the Foundation were seen as wrong and redirected towards others. Teach emotion stopping techniques. There was a big push to use specific therapeutic tools or lessen or redirect emotions and doubts to different areas. This was always under the guise of making you feel better and being healthier. Make the person feel that the problems are always their fault, never the leaders of the group's fault. If you were having problems within the group, it was a question of how loyal you were, how well you managed your traumas and mental illness, whether or not you were capable of being mature enough to handle the group and their similar. Promote feelings of guilt or unworthiness, such as identity guilt. So we have here, there was a massive culture of feeling guilty about who you are as a person, and any way you may deviate from the ideal version of yourself in the eyes of Poppy. I was made to feel bad for being asexual and kept that further repressed. I felt I wasn't living up to expectations. I was told my family was terrible and I needed to cut them off. My and others' past affiliations were subject to scrutiny. Current affiliations could get you kicked out. There were also tons of reasons that your stances could be seen as selfish to people. The social guilt was always heavy, as well as the idea that you were letting others down every time you stepped out of line for the group. Instill fear, such as a fear of thinking independently of the outside world, enemies. Fear was an all-consuming aspect of how the Foundation functioned. Thinking too independently was dangerous because you could not trust your mind to stay safe and believe only in truth. Outsiders of the group are all wrong in their ideas and wish harm come to you. If you ever leave the Foundation, you're going to lose your way in life. Those who leave are horrifically shunned. Conclusion. The bigger picture here is deeply concerning. There is no healthy group that can function within these parameters and not mentally screw their members. Now, it is important to keep in mind that this is from the perspective of just a single survivor of the group. I am not the end-all be-all, and none of this is to allege legal wrongdoings, but to demonstrate a way that an online cult may operate, and having such a clear-cut example would be helpful for those who are experiencing something similar currently or have in the past, at Lyle Convoy and his entire Discord. All of these were archived while still being virtual. None of the nature of this medium communication made it impossible for these behaviors to be stopped or mitigated. It merely saved me and others from physical abuse that would have surely experienced had this been a cult in a physical locale. There is safety in an online group versus one in real life, but this safety does not mean total immunity. When people discuss online cults, they are discussing real groups that destroy people's lives in minds. It is not merely a group that seems to be a bit creepy or odd beliefs. It is a group with specific predatory tactics that are used to convince individuals of things they would not believe otherwise and isolate them from normal society. Cruelty is a means to an end. In my experience, it is just one of many. This isn't the best case scenario, nor the worst. Being aware of these things can go a long way, preventing victimization for yourself and others. Awareness is just one small step in the right direction. If you want more information, check the sources I shared above. And that's all she wrote. Beautiful. This is a wonderful document. Much better than the, quote, schizodocs that Nightwild wrote in the past. I have said, and... Oh, hang on. Fucking cat. I had said previously, and I truly, truly, truly believe it with my entire heart. I truly believe it with my entire heart. I believe that Poppy is like unironically like dark triad and shit. I think that she went to school so she could learn how to mindfuck people. Because this coming from somebody who's a therapist who kind of knows how to do all of this is actually like really fucking scary. It's actually incredibly fucking scary. Very scary. Very scary. Very, very scary. Very scary, guys. Very scary. The Netflix documentary on this is gonna go fucking crazy. I completely agree. Yeah, dude. Fucking nuts. Fucking nuts. Fucking nuts, guys. SMJ, we're mind melting. Oh my god. You want me to say the evil thought? I was gonna say the only people that are in danger of like killing Poppy and Xena are Poppy and Xena because they fight like that and there's fucking guns in the house. That's scary. That's scary. If you're fighting like that with people, you probably shouldn't have firearms. I don't think Poppy should have firearms, period. But if you're like arguing with each other like that, there should not be a fucking gun. There should not be a gun. Dusk interview. Maybe another time. Kitten is tired. Kitten is tired. Kitten is tired right now. If you want to, all right, I'll do it. I'll do it. I give the people what they want. I'll give the people what they want. I know the Law & Order SVU episode on this is going to be fucking fire, dude. It's going to be fucking fire. If you want to, you can. I'm not arm twisting anybody here. I'm not arm twisting anybody here, but I'm the kitten. I'm the kitten. I'm the kitten. I'll do it, but I need to get a snack. If you want to, Dusk, you can. You can if you want to, Dusk. Completely your call. I have no problem with doing that if that's something that you want to do. I have no problem. But I will have to get a snack quickly if that's something that you want to do, or we can save it for another day. It's totally up to you. Whatever you prefer, Monarch. Whatever you prefer, Monarch. We can do, if you want, we can schedule. Oh, no, Dusk is here. Okay. Okay. All right. I have to get a snack really quick. Mandatory bathroom time, and then we'll chat with Dusk. Mandatory bathroom time, and then small girl time chat. Hang on, let me get your key jangling video back up. I have to get something to eat, and then we will do it, okay? Brianna, we makes everything about her, dude. She's so fucking annoying. Okay, give me 1 second here. Okay, here's your key jangling video. Hang on, here it is. I'm gonna put on your music. I'll be right back. I have to get a snack. I have to feed myself, and then we'll chat with Dusk, okay? I'll be right back. Everybody behave.
In the night we ride, no fear inside. State of mind, we breaking. In the night we ride, no fear inside. State of mind, we breaking. In the night we ride, no fear inside. State of mind, we breaking. Yo, we thuggin', never gonna stop. Yo, we thuggin', never gonna stop. In the night we ride, no fear inside. State of mind, we breaking. In the night we ride, no fear inside. State of mind, we breaking. In the night we ride, no fear inside. State of mind, we breaking. Yo, we thuggin', never gonna stop. 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 ride, no fear inside. State of mind, we breaking. In the night we ride, no fear inside. State of mind, we breaking. In the night we ride, no fear inside. State of mind, we breaking. Yo, we thuggin', never gonna stop. Yo, we thuggin', never gonna stop. In the night we ride, no fear inside. State of mind, we breaking. In the night we ride, no fear inside. State of mind, we breaking. In the night we ride, no fear inside. State of mind, we breaking. Yo, we thuggin', never gonna stop. 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 Yo, we thuggin', never gonna stop.
All right. Out of here. All right. All right. Everybody ready, Freddy's. Is everybody ready, Freddy's? Oh, you guys. All right. Hello. Can you hear me?
Hello.
There we go.
Yeah. My fiance is also in the room with me, so they may or may not talk.
No worries. What is good? What's new? What's fresh? What's exciting? What's something exciting that you're doing right now?
I mean, I have the week off instead of being stuck at work, so there's that.
Okay, love that. Love that. We love a little vacay. Love the little vacay. Liked this article a lot better than the other one. We'll just start with that. This one was
Yeah, I would hope.
This one was a lot better. This one was a lot better. Wow. Okay. So, all right. So you joined in 2022. Shit didn't really blow up until like 2023, 24, right? So what was the vibe before shit got crazy? Has it always been like that, or did it like progressively get more crazy?
know I initially was just kind of in safe where it was mostly kind of normal-ish, but there was some like weird stuff with how Poppy acted sometimes, and like she'd sometimes show up in like the smaller calls, and I never really liked her. Fun fact, the only reason I technically became friends with her is because she told me that I made her feel really bad about the Courtney stuff because she because she thought we were friends, and the whole time I didn't think we were friends. I was only friends with Xena at that point.
Was
So-
Xena your like introduction to everything?
Yeah, Xena's the person that I talk to more than Poppy, because hold on, let me check something real quick, because which server was it?
Yeah, if I
okay.
remember correctly, I remember you calling Poppy your friend, but I remember you not actually talking about her that much. Other than like the few times she was like, "Hey, go harass this person for me." I think that's like the only time you talked about her
Yeah.
with me.
Yeah, because when I first started talking in DMs with Xena was in February of 2023, and then when I first talked in DMs with Poppy was apparently, oh my god, why is there so much in this? Was apparently in October of 2023 when she was like, "Hey, just so you know, Courtney's server isn't safe." Back in 2023 because she had a falling out with Courtney for the first time, because that happened like twice before they
So your-
actually killed each other off.
So your kind of introduction was with Xena.
Yeah.
That's pretty fitting. I've heard around the grapevine that most people feel like they were mostly friends with Xena first, and then it kind of like transitioned into primarily being Poppy. So the vibe was like like it was fine, and then it kind of began to spiral relatively quickly, from what I gather. When did like shit start getting like kind of weird? Like when did it start becoming like, okay, you guys, we need to like really lock in? Like I remember the video specifically that she did. She did the stream with where she was talking about Arden, where it was the stream that she said where like, yes, my full name is a dox or whatever. It was that stream. Was that when everything kind of started, or was it something else that kind of kicked it off?
I'm not exactly sure when wait, hold on, because I just plugged in my mic.
Hopefully your mic's working okay.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
sounds fine. No complaints.
I can't remember exactly when the Arden stuff was, but I know it was at some point before the stuff with Courtney, like before even the interview with her, when I had at some point got into Euclid and they were in Euclid calls a lot. It was like I honestly think a lot of the weird stuff started happening after Milena left and various other people in that kind of general area, because I did have at some point I was in the server at the same time Milena was for a period of time. Like we had overlap.
Okay. So when you were kind of going through and for the most part kind of like A-logging everything, what kinds of things were they asking you to A-log, and did they tell you how to get it, or was it just kind of like you had to figure it out?
I had to figure out pretty much all of it. There was stuff like there was a few times they told me to get specific things from specific people on specific social media sites, and other times it was just take screenshots of literally anything that seems good, go through literally everything they have. I went over so many people's different like social medias, and then also I did most of their stuff for like looking into kiwi farms. Because I just ended up with having my OCD constantly being obsessed with looking at the thread in an unhealthy way, and they were like, "This is great, we can use this."
When you wrote that initial document, did they provide you the names and the information to put in that was like everybody's legal name?
Yeah, Poppy gave me those, and then also gave me ways to try and pretend it was me, including like she she like reverse engineered how she found them and was like, okay, this is a way you can claim these were found. If you want to, you can actually claim that because I originally gave out No's other name that she was planning to go by that's connected to Facebook, that's connected to these other things. You can actually say you went through and found all of these names through old yearbook photos. And I'm like, how would I get the yearbook? I don't know. It was weird.
Okay. Okay. When they were like cataloging all of this stuff, what were they just like throwing everything into a Google Doc and then just going from there, or what did that look like?
There was multiple different channels. Like there was one that was like the Milena Receipts channel. We had the Courtney Receipts channel, and then we had a giant channel that was called Sore Losers, and it was just pretty much everyone Poppy and Xena didn't like.
Did I have my own channel?
You did not have your own channel, but you were
Fuck.
mentioned at times.
That's so stupid. Okay. Sorry. Okay. So there was kind of all this A logging and shit going on. Can I ask your partner a question if they're cool with that?
Oh yeah, sure. Go ahead. What's up?
So it was mentioned in the article, kind of like Poppy was trying to like, say like, don't date this person or whatever. What were your reservations with Poppy? And then what was kind of like your response to Dust being like, hey, this person on the internet wants me to like not date you? What was that like?
Okay. So basically, again, I want to make it very clear that I never interacted with Poppy and Xena directly. I believe at one point, I think they wanted, if I remember correctly, you wanted specifically for me to join the server at one point.
I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. I can't remember it though.
If I remember that correctly, and I don't think they mentioned that until I think after you got out of the cult.
I didn't mention that they wanted me to break up with you until later because I kept like being like, "No, I'm just crazy." They didn't actually mean that.
So yeah, reason. I didn't find out about like that until later. But yeah, again, I didn't hear too much of it, but every once in a while, like, Dusk would kind of come up to me and would be like, hey, so my friend wants me to do this thing, and I don't know about it, and she's just making me upset, and I'm like, oh, yeah, then you should talk to her about it, and be like, hey, I'm not really comfortable with doing this thing, and I don't want to do this thing, and if you're going to make me do this thing, then I don't think we should be friends anymore, because obviously I didn't know the full context of Poppy, because they never really like told me who she was or anything. So I was just like, oh yeah, we'll just go about this logically, and if she like keeps forcing you to do stuff you're not happy with, then I would consider, maybe breaking off that friendship.
Sure.
And it kind of went like that for a while until eventually they were like, okay, so I just got out of a cult, and I was like, what? And then they talked to, like, once they got out, they talked about all the stuff Poppy and Xena did, and I was like, oh my god.
Well, I didn't
This is so much worse than I thought it is.
Yeah, I didn't really use the word cult until I had gone to therapy a few times and, like, talked about the stuff in therapy. And then I went through stuff, and I was like, yeah, this seems to be, like, kind of reflective of what you grew up in, and that's probably why it messed with you so much. And I'm like, oh, whoops. Kind of thing.
Okay. Kind of like what other, like, obviously you kind of did like your own shit to kind of be like, this was fucky. Sounds like you're doing a lot better. Love that for you, Slay. What kind of like inspired you to like come back and readdress it? Other than the obvious, like, I just kind of want to like share my experience or whatever. Was there any like motivating factor to come back? Like, for example, like obviously I don't care, but just like joining my Discord server and shit, like, was there any kind of like other, like, I'm not saying like ulterior motivation, I'm not saying that, but just like why even like dredge back into it, you know what I mean?
I know I first rejoined your server just because I like drama content, and I watched some more of your stuff, and I was like, okay, I wanted to join again, or not join again, I hadn't joined it before, but I wanted to join like a drama Discord server, and I talked in that a bit, and then I was like, well, I already talk about stuff with Poppy and Xena, like, more privately, but I've been wanting to be able to talk about stuff more publicly, because I think I've worked through enough to where I'm more able to be able to talk about it, because I've wanted to for a while. I just had to like a lot of issues, and then also Milena has helped me a lot, but part of it was basically making sure I didn't kind of just go forward and do things too fast and too quickly, because I can kind of push myself and get really overwhelmed.
Okay. I mean, fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. Okay. Has anybody like tried to contact you after the fact, other than the GoFundMe stuff?
I was in contact with Annie for a bit, even after I did my apology video, but she kept kind of trying to get me to apologize for things, and it was before I fully understood that Annie had also kind of not been normal to me, given that she's like 30 now, I'm 21. We were a lot closer than was probably reasonable, especially given she'd said to a different person around my age that she found them attractive in being in her range of a phoebophilic attraction, even though that person's also terrible. It's very fucking creepy.
Doing
Okay. Shit, I forgot what I was saying.
sorry. I'm so evil. I stopped them from pinching themselves with a fucking bread clip. But yeah, you were talking about stuff with
Don't call it
Annie.
a break.
It is a bread clip. It's like a chip bag thingy.
No, I know I was mentioning Annie, but I forgot why I was I forgot what the question was that I was.
Oh, just
answering.
if any of them had tried to contact you again in any meaningful way.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
She contacted me when I went on my private Twitter and made a little post when I was going through and taking old art images I had for myself, and was like, oh, let me see if I can pull this up actually, because I can't remember what exactly she said or when, and this was after I'd already cut her off.
While you're looking for that, I also heard around the rumor mill that Poppy explicitly said at one point or another, I don't know if this is true, to be careful with Annie because she's like she shouldn't be around the young people in the server. Is that true?
Oh, I don't know if she explicitly said that to me, but she said because of the situation surrounding Annie, she wasn't able to be in the safe chat around the younger people.
Okay, all right.
Not because they believe she was actually a threat, but because people think she's a threat, kind of thing.
Okay. Okay.
And Annie messaged me on April 11th last, and basically said, "Seeing you post again was bittersweet. I'm glad you're okay. I won't say anything else unless you want me to." I'm like, okay.
Okay.
It's just kind of weird. Okay. And then also Willie DM'd me when I made the post kind of mocking Annie on Blue Sky, and he had this whole crash out where he's like, "Come debate me on live stream. I'll give you a noose so you can tie it around your neck," or fucking. It was weird.
It sounds kind of like a weird situation. Yeah.
I mean, it's Willie. I don't know what I expected.
You wrote in the article as well that there was a lot of kind of, I guess you could use the word sexual coercion. Was there ever times where you were specifically pressured by either Poppy or Xena to engage with them sexually?
They weren't necessarily pressuring me to engage with them. It was more Poppy wanted me to just do it in general, which was very weird to me, because I had talked about how I had a past friend group that essentially had been you have to do sex this specific way because we want you to, even though we're not we don't want to do it with you. It was really weird. But Xena called that grooming, and then Poppy goes ahead and does basically the same thing, and I just kind of find that ironic.
Oh my god, can I read this screenshot that you sent me on my stream?
Jesus yes, Christ. You can read the screenshot of
This is probably the most normal Willie message I've ever seen in my entire fucking life, but it's still not good. Okay. And then just for context, Willie is the one that Fed posts like daily. I have no idea how his Blue Sky account is still operational, but so this is from Willie to Dusk. It says, "Yo, want to come on my channel and debate me on this? I can be as sweet and civil as you do. You do too. Most people don't seem to know how to talk shit on voice like they do IRL. We can simulcast this to both of our channels if you want. I just want you to be a grown-ass adult about this and face your decisions like one. You're going to regret this harder and harder the longer that you spend cucking out to radfems and predators because of your own deep-seated insecurities and unresolved psychological issues. In 10 years, you're going to see this and realize that you became the same people you called problematic. Oh my god, who'd call you a problematic corpse rapist and tell you to kill yourself because you couldn't face your own demons head on. I'm not here to save you. I'm here to give you a mirror and a rope where Jesus fucking Christ. Whether you crawl out of this and tie yourself to the mast, a sinking ship is entirely up to you. Please be smart. And when is this from? When did he send this to you?
Let me see, because I posted it on Blue Sky the day he sent it.
Jesus.
That was 2 months ago on May 9th, 2025.
Okay, so like 2 months ago. Jesus Christ. I have no idea.
Yeah.
How does she justify keeping him around? I don't understand. He's like clinically insane. Like he needs to be institutionalized.
I don't know. She likes role playing with him. I guess that's why.
Okay. But she doesn't like men. But I guess Willie doesn't count. I suppose. Sad day for Willie, I guess. Okay.
Well, I mean, they do keep joking about him transitioning. So.
If you don't mind my asking, are you trans?
Yeah, I'm just kind of in a weird area with my gender and so on because I originally was on T, but I identify as like a non-binary woman now, and a lot of that's because of my DID. Like my identity kind of shifts.
Did they ever?
When I have
Did they ever
stuff.
kneel on you about your identity? Like with a lot of the trans women that would like enter the poppycule, it would be a lot of like, you know, I know a surgeon, like, you know, we can get you fatter tits, like that kind of stuff. Was your like gender ever kind of used in that way?
Not really, and I think that was mostly because initially when I was in that group, I was more of a trans man, and the surgeries I want are atypical.
Okay.
And she knew about like my surgery goals. There's the one time she called my surgery goals a thing that would make me into a real life Fuda, which was interesting thing to hear.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that. That was crazy. Like,
Yeah,
that is an insane thing to say.
That is an exceptionally insane thing to say. Okay. All right.
It's just a poppy thing to say.
Yeah, certainly. Okay. All right. Okay. Oh, all right. Where do we go from here? Okay. Was there anything else in particular that you wanted to share, or like anything, you know, that you would like to say, like publicly, I suppose, or anything, you know, outside of obviously you have made your quote unquote public statement, but anything other than that you think is noteworthy?
I know there is one other thing that is a thing I want to clear up because both Poppy and Annie have kind of spread this around, which has led to a lot of issues with people assuming I'm race faking, which I kind of understand given. So when I was a kid, I had really severe eczema, and one of the kind of home remedies people do for that is bleach baths, like diluted bleach baths. My mom did them kind of poorly. And she, when I was older, made like a kind of weird comment that seemed kind of racist about, because she's very weird about people with any slightly dark skin tone shades. And then she asked me to take another bleach bath right after that comment. And I was like, man, that was kind of racist. And then Poppy and Annie are like, wow, I can't believe that Night Wild's mom bleached him to be white.
Didn't they also claim that I was race faking?
No, those were random Kiwi farmers. I don't think it matters that much.
I like that. I don't even know what to say to that. That's fucking crazy.
They talked about how my mom was trying to make me white online constantly for me, and like I just was like, I guess, yep. I just for some reason never corrected them publicly, so
Wow.
that's
Okay.
kind of on me.
That's pretty fucked up. Okay, most important question: did Poppy say slurs in private? And if so, what slurs?
Most important.
I mean, she says the R slur a lot, but I can't remember if she says that on stream or not.
Dude, she's a fucking therapist. Wow. Okay. All right.
And then I know she said other slurs. I don't think it was her, but but there was one person who said the N word a lot.
Are we saying hard R or affectionately with an A?
I
Please-
think
please
it
don't
was
say
with
hard
an
R.
A.
Okay, I was gonna say please don't say hard R. That would make me crash out. Okay, that's Jesus. Okay.
And then what? And then I can't remember whether or not Poppy ever said it, because I know one time Twisty like gave people the pass.
Which is insane, by the way. I don't think you should do that.
Like jokingly is one thing, I guess, but
It was just there was a lot more like somewhat conservative ideology kind of in the more private chats, and like a lot more slur usage than not.
conservative ideology, you say? You've piqued my interest. What do you?
Well,
Hmm.
I just mean like being more conservative than she typically is in her videos, which isn't like excessively conservative, but it's stuff like just the way she acts, kind of, and being she acts like a boomer Republican. That's just how I would explain it.
Yeah,
Okay.
from what I've gathered, it's like she has really conservative views despite being a trans woman. It's just so weird.
Okay. All right.
Wait. Wait. I just saw Milena in the chat. Has Annie claimed that you groomed me into detransitioning? Has Annie done that?
What?
I need to. I have missed out on something then. What? Milena, you can't just say that. I need context.
Milena, Pixar, it didn't happen, please?
Wait. Oh my god.
Oh wait, hold on. You should probably
When
read this.
apparently this is from something that Annie posted. Me, sadly, Nightwild, who wrote it, went over to the dark side. Milena went to the extent of grooming and gaslighting him into being the exact opposite of everything he was, including detransitioning. I lost one of my closest friends because of Milena.
Yeah, definitely that,
What?
and not the fact that you're, fucking intersex and identify as trans
I-
femme now and are gender fluid and non-binary. That's not it. at
Like,
all.
my gender changed because I have different alters, because
Also, yeah, that.
I had to work through intensive trauma that I got from Poppy and Xena and Annie.
Kinda hung up on, like, my
sorry.
closet. I'm hung up on like the quote my closest friend that's like a 19-year-old on the internet. I don't. That's kind of a lot, I think.
Yeah. Well, we first started being friendly when I was just about to turn 20, so it was like a 20-year-old friend for a 30-year-old woman.
Very
Well,
normal.
now 30-year-old woman. Yeah,
Very
woman.
normal, very normal.
Woman.
Wow. Okay. Well, this was.
Yeah.
Painful.
Enlightening.
Sure. Yes, I'll use your word instead. You're right. It was enlightening. You're right. Thank you for correcting me. Well, I'm glad that you sound like you're doing better. That sounds like you're doing a lot better.
Yep.
Which love to hear it. Love to see. Glad that you're live, laugh, loving, and all that other good stuff. And I obviously appreciate your time and good work. This document is significantly better than the last one. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Cool. This is a lot of information, and I don't really know what to do with it right now, except for like sit here and stare at the wall for extended period of time. Yeah. Thanks for this curse knowledge, this
Yeah.
curse lore.
Yep. You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Have a good day.
You as well. Thanks for your time. Take care.
Yep. Take
Have
care.
a wonderful day. Goodbye.
You as well. Bye bye. Dude. Oh my god. You know what I said, like, literally, like, 20 minutes ago? I was like, I really want to fucking drink today, and I don't know why. My body could sense the bad vibes. Wow, my sobriety is being threatened once again. Take a bleach bath. Take a bleach bath. We just have one normal day, you guys. One normal day. Oh, God. Oh my God. I think that it's insane that this is like from a therapist. I think that that's like the craziest shit. The actual like craziest shit ever. I'm very excited to see how this court case is going to play out. That's going to be so delicious, you guys. Fucking delicious. Also, thank you, Ember, for the gifted membership. I did see that. I apologize. Everybody witness, please. Holy fuck. Yeah, the court case is gonna be fire, dude. It's gonna be fucking fire. It's gonna be fucking fire. It's gonna be fucking fire. I can't believe it. I can't believe that we're alive together at this time. Like, you know, what are the odds that throughout the history of the universe, we're alive right now at this exact moment and time? Alexa, please play Despacito. Thank you so much. I'm thinking if it's going to be a public case, I'm thinking about crowdfunding to go to New York to cover it. I'm thinking about it. I'm considering it. I just want to give the girls what they want. Okay. I am considering fundraising to go to New York to cover the case live. I'm considering it. It is not outside of the realm of possibility for me. That's a lot. Okay. And then Melina sent me these screenshots as well. These are screenshots of them just sending the docs info. Just confirming that someone was actually doxxed. Is this a little sneak peek at your new document? This is a little sneak peek at document number 821 and 74. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Yeah, I will be we'll be crowdfunding. We'll be crowdfunding, guys. We'll be crowdfunding for that, certainly. We'll be crowdfunding. We'll be crowdfunding. That's certainly happening. That's certainly happening. We're going. And I'm taking my emotional support kitten, Don't Smoke in Bed with me. Yeah, we're doing it. It's happening, dude. It's fucking happening. It's awesome, you guys. So many awesome things are happening right now. So many amazing, show-stopping, brilliant, incredible, talented things are happening right now, and we are blessed, sisters, mashallah, to be here alive together. It's phenomenal. It is absolutely fucking phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Hell yes, brothers. Oh, congrats on your job application process, Britt. Good job. Proud of you. Proud of you. Proud of you. Wow. Oh, dude, Food Shops is streaming. Sick. I thought that bitch fucked off. I thought that Food Shops left the internet. Sad. 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 Oh yeah, we will definitely be gambling on outcomes. Definitely be doing that. Certainly we'll be doing that. That's gonna be happening. Yeah, what the fuck, dude? I don't even know how to like move on. I don't even know how to move on. I really truthfully fucking don't know how to move on. I gotta be so real with you guys. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with my hands. I think that I need to go and play Last of Us and make dinner. I think that's what I need to do. I think that I need to like run away. I think I need like my kitten carrier to feel safe right now. I think that I need my kitten carrier to feel safe right now. Yeah, she still wants to molest children. Yes, she certainly does. Unlike Lyle Convoy, I have only ever told one person to kill themselves in a video game, and that person was Food Shops, and I will stand by that statement until I die. Other than that, I don't really do that because I don't think it's appropriate. So, I love being morally superior to Lao Convoy in literally every sense of the word and phrase. Love that. Love that. Okay, where do you guys want to go? I have to go make dinner. I don't know how to carry on. Tomorrow we're doing the Brit call. I wanted to give the kittens a break. I wanted to give them a break. I wanted to give the kittens a rest. The kittens are tired. It's me. I'm kittens. I wanted to give the kittens a break. I have been in the editing mines. I have another segment tomorrow coming out. Our options are not good, you guys, but this is what you get. Our options are not good. Like, nobody's fucking live right now. So these are your options. These are where you can go. Or you can go to the ether. Keldoge is on where? I literally don't see it. Where? 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 Ah! I'll send you to Keldoge. We don't even have to ask. Silly me. Okay. We're gonna do the Brit doc tomorrow. We're gonna do that tomorrow. I've been putting it off. I thought the kittens needed a rest. Boy, was I wrong. Boy, was I wrong, guys. Boy, was I wrong. Fuck me. Okay, so I'm gonna send you guys to Keldoge. Tomorrow we're gonna do the Brit call. Tomorrow we're gonna do the Brit call. We're gonna do that. We're gonna get back into the kennel, the kitten kennel. I have one more edited video coming out tomorrow, and then I will begin work on the Poppy doc, and I will begin work on the Dusk interview for content over the weekend to keep my mamacitas pleased and keep my kittens full. Yeah, the kittens needed a break. The kittens needed a break, but yeah, I'm gonna send you guys to Keldoge. Go be nice to Keldoge. Reset. Practice your shark breaths in my absence, and then we are going to do the Brit call tomorrow. Thanks everybody for being patient with me while I figured out how the fuck to use OBS. It's, you know, I love learning new things. And thanks everybody for your generosity. I really appreciate the super chats and the memberships. It means the world to me. I truthfully really appreciate it. Love you guys lots so much. But I will see you, Hasu Mandiana. Hug, hug, kiss, kiss, XOXO, Gossip Girl. I will see you later, mamacitas. Take care.